you'd better put a chick in it. And make it fucking gay as fuck.
Going somewhere?
And I want it lame!
Put her on a path of her own choosing, so that no matter which direction she takes, we'll always be one step ahead of her.
What?
That is so lame!
G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Casual Rage. Sorry, I just took a drink. Welcome to Casual Rage 153, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. And there's a little bit to talk about today. Not all Star Wars related, mostly Star Wars related, as the channel is mainly a Star Wars show, or a Star Wars channel, I should say. But we are going to be talking a little bit about Marvel. It's not something that I haven't talked about on a couple of other streams, so we're going to touch on a couple of things over there. We've also got some comic book news. I'm sure from that viral video that went out about the comic book store owner. So we're going to give that a watch, and I'm just going to give my thoughts, my 2 cents on that. We got some Star Wars theory stuff. Apparently there's a TED series coming out, so we're going to watch something in regards to that. Some stuff on the High Republic, some stuff on Rey Skywalker. There's some Acolyte stuff, a whole heap of Star Wars news, and then also to the new Star Wars fan, the shipper. We're going to talk a fair bit, actually, about that, because there's something that I saw and I couldn't help but roll my eyes. It was very cringy. It was, not something that, Star Wars isn't for Star Wars fans anymore. It's for Star Wars activists and weird people, weirdos. Reylos are weird. And I think that the whole Reylo thing has seeped into other areas, other characters, and we're going to talk a bit about that. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. Let's see who we've got here in the chat. We've got Star Wars Marvel Purist, and he says, looking forward to your interview discussion on open airlock policy tomorrow. Yes, now if you don't know, obviously Tim, open airlock policy, he does the spacing every week. For me, it's Saturday. I think for him, it's a Friday night. And he asked me about having a bit of a one-on-one discussion. So tomorrow, after I finish work, he's going to start probably an hour before I get home from work. So he's just going to sort of faff a little bit and talk just some general shit. And then I'm going to jump in there and we're going to have a bit of a one-on-one discussion. So I'm going to drop that link in the chat, bookmark it, whatever you do to save it. But yeah, tomorrow we're going to sit down and have a discussion. I don't exactly know what he wants to talk about one-on-one. I mean, we've done streams together. He was a part of this show for a while. So yeah, it should be interesting. Like I said, I don't exactly know what he wants to talk about other than Star Wars. Majority of the conversation, I dare say, is going to revolve around Star Wars, but it should be a lot of fun. So again, if you're not subscribed to Open Airlock Policy, go over there. I've dropped the link to the stream in the chat, and save that for tomorrow. So yes, thank you, Star Wars Marvel Purist. Appreciate you. Corey's here. We've got Dr. Coffin Nails ready for the rage. And I enjoy it when Rhino tears Star Wars theory apart. Well, we've got a bit to talk about with Star Wars theory. There's actually, I've got a few tabs up here. I was thinking about it because there's hang on, let me just have a quick look here. We've got a little clip, and then we've got a video to watch that goes for 6 minutes, and then he's got another 6-minute video and another 3-minute video. And I was thinking, do I really want to watch that much of it? But I kind of have to get all context of what he's basically saying, and we can tear it apart together, basically. Because there's a lot that I don't really understand going on with that dude at the moment. So that should be a lot of fun. Darth Spampton's here. Good to see you. The Fractured Filter, of course. Always comes back and watches the replay. Always writes me a little novel in the comments, and I do read them every single time. So I appreciate you. Thanks for coming back. We've got Pro Jack fan. How you doing? Lethal Lightning's in the chat. He says, I can feel it. Today's the day. Rhino will accept the prequels are whack. I still like the prequels, dude. It's not without its problems. It's not without its couple of flaws here and there, but I still like it. So, sorry, Lethal. We've got Mr. Bantham's here. How you doing, dude? The Nuisance Bird, good to see you. Tyranazilla. I always don't know if I get that name right, but hello there. Hello there to you. King Chris, good to see you. We've got E. Clay Thomason. Good to see a lot of the members here as well. And I know that a lot of you, you get your gift memberships. We hit, I think we were going for that 100, if you remember, and we ended up at 120, which was pretty amazing, to be honest with you. And I appreciate it. I appreciate all the people that gift memberships and support. I appreciate all the members that do come in and drop emojis and shit like that. It's really good. We got our own little corner over here, and it's fantastic. I love it. Who else have we got? Fear of FEMA. Good to see you. 2 + 2 = balance. You know, I saw Tyranazilla here. One of my very first videos was on that interview, and I was sitting on my couch, and I had a mate filming me over here, and I had another camera set up over there, and I hate the video. I will say that. Obviously, it's up on the channel. I don't think I could go back and watch some of my early videos. How slow I am. It's amazing how much confidence you've got to build to really sort of put out a video or stream. You know, I'm sitting here talking to you guys in the chat, But when you first start doing this, it feels like really weird. You don't want to say anything that you don't mean because you feel like you're just going to get torn apart for it, even though it's really a nothing burger. So yeah, Freddie, that video where he said the 2 + 2 = balance was one of the very early videos on the channel. And I was irate back then. That was when the rage was really raging. That was back in the days where I actually did this one.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off, Disney, you fucking cunt!
So it was back in the days when I did that. I was so angry. I was so angry about what they did with Star Wars with The Last Jedi that on Christmas Day of that year, because it came out just before Christmas, my parents went and saw it. And on Christmas Day, my dad and my mom are like, oh, I thought it was really good and stuff. And I blew up at Christmas. It was horrible. I feel so bad. I actually apologized to my dad. Mike Hill, late, and Shinhati. Yes, I'm sorry I was a little bit late, guys. I had to go and collect my passport from the post office. And of course, going down there in the middle of the day on a Friday, you would think that it's not too busy, but it was busier than I thought it was. Anyway, so I had to do that, and I got back in, and I was like, shit, I'm going to be a little bit late. Anyway, we're here now. Firafima says, Rhino should give up on Star Wars and get into an IP with a future, like Doctor Who. Yeah. Yeah. Melissa Lord's in the chat. How you doing, Melissa? Tillium's here. Who else have we got? We got Christopher Barker. Now, this is another. I want to just say, I've got to give credit to Chris. We don't always see eye to eye, and I'm sure there's more people in the chat that are like that too. I've got all the respect in the world for Chris because he does come back, and I know that there's things that he does agree with me on. But there's also those things that he doesn't agree with me on, and we can still sort of have a discussion about it, and it'd be okay. So I appreciate the fact that he's always coming back. Sydney Senpai, how you doing? Good to see you. Let's see if I've missed anyone. Patrick T, how you doing, Patrick? Good to see you as well, dude. Terrible dialogue in the prequels. I won't say all of it's terrible, but there's a lot. Like, the one scene that I actually like visually is the fireplace scene because Padme looks sexy as fucking hell, but I can't stand the dialogue in it. I almost skip it every single time. Because, like, I just can't stand the I'm haunted by the kiss I should never have given you, all of that stuff. So, like, I honestly, everybody talks about the I hate sand or I don't like sand scene. I don't have nowhere near as big a problem as that with that scene as a lot of people seem to. I don't think it's as bad as what people think it is. It's not great. It's not like it blows it away, but I could think of, out of the prequels, I could think of worse bits of dialogue than just that sand scene. So, let's see. Who else have we got here? Blabs. Hello, big bro. Hello, little sis. How you doing? Good to see you, Blabs. Joe Dog, what's up? How you doing? Preston's here. I see you. Good dialogue in the prequels. There's some good dialogue in the prequels. Like, one of the bits that I really, really like is when Obi-Wan is about to leave and Anakin, like, apologizes to him. And he's like, they will make you a master in time and all of that sort of thing. And then he leaves. I like that. There's bits like that that I really like. Obviously, just before the face-off on Mustafar, that's some great dialogue. I know most of the things that I'm actually giving you examples for is from Revenge of the Sith. I'm just trying to think what would be my favorite dialogue from Attack of the Clones. My favorite part in regards to dialogue in that would probably be between Obi-Wan and Dooku. When Dooku's basically saying, the the Republic is in control of a Sith Lord. That scene is fucking great. Fucking great. And if I had to pick one from The Phantom Menace, that's tough. That's actually really tough. I'm trying to really think here. It's almost the opening, the little bit of dialogue that Qui-Gon has with Obi-Wan. Elsewhere, elusive. It's like being the here and now. I like that shit. Who else we got here? Mr. Grant Gregory, good to see you. Soul Assassin, I see you, dude. Patrick T, I said hello. Let's see. Stephen Brown, hello there. Hello there. I think I've pretty much caught up with most of you guys. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry, but thank you for being here. Appreciate you all hanging out. And like I said, we've got a little bit to get through. We've got a fair bit to talk about and stuff like that. I always say, like, oh, I'm going to try and do a little bit of a shorter one, and then I ended up doing 4 hours last week. So who cares? I got nothing to do after this. So we'll just go as long as we go for. What was I going to say? Oh, before we get into everything, I actually started reading a new EU book. I started reading Rogue Squadron. And I'm probably a little bit over, I reckon, hang on, let me just have a look here. I say reading, listening to the audio books. I love fucking audio books, man. Especially when they're being produced properly and there's sound effects and shit. All right, so I'm probably about 2/3, about 2/3, 3/4 of the way through the first book. And fuck, man, what a great book it is. What a great book so far, anyway. Obviously, the Empire is trying to deal with being the remnants of the Empire, and there's a lot that goes on. It's one of those things where I'd probably read the books and then like start again and go through them again. I always seem to get, I think this might probably the case for a lot of people, but I always seem to get more from the books the more I read them. You know, a lot more sinks in. I understand a lot more, and the characters become more and more real the more I read them. So, yes, I am, like I said, about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way through Rogue Squadron. But I'll probably get to a point where I've read, going back through them a second time or something like that, and it'll become more and more stapled in my brain. I'd actually like to know, that was something that I was going to actually look up, but I'd like to know exactly the time after Return of the Jedi that this is, like how long after Return of the Jedi it is. Fuck Corran Horn. I think that's how you say his name properly. What a great character. What a great character. Wedge is really good in the book as well. You get a lot of Admiral Akbar, which is fantastic too. Fuck, I love it. It's really, really, really good so far. And I know that there's a lot of books in that series. I don't exactly know how many. I think I downloaded the first 3. And that's because through Amazon, I get these tokens. So I never actually pay for a book. I just use the token from my subscription or whatever. So yeah, I've got the first 3 books. And after getting nearly through the first one, like I can't wait for the story to continue. But yeah. I know that he does obviously become a Jedi, but I don't think he is at this point. And I hope that it ties into him like recognizing his abilities. Patrick T for 5 says Obi-Wan should have followed up with a couple of questions for Dooku, such as who's the Sith Lord. I understand what you're saying, but he just didn't believe him. He didn't believe him, so he didn't think like there's any relevance to asking a question like that. That's my understanding or my thoughts of it. You know, despite how convincing Dooku was, I feel like he just did not believe him for a second. So why would he follow up with a question like, who's the Sith Lord? I mean, I guess he could have like asked it as in like that way. Like, okay, if it's being controlled by a Sith Lord, who is it then? There could have been maybe a little bit more to it, but I do like that scene despite, you know, any flaws that you might think that are in it. Not that you're necessarily saying that that's a flaw for the scene, but yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me get rid of the tab that I shared. And you know what? Before we get into the topics, I just want to share this with you guys really quickly because we're not going to watch it this week. I'm going to watch it separately, but Knights of Melvin. We watched his video last week on him opening up the Sparrow files, and he dropped the second video for that today, 10 hours ago. So I'm just going to share that with you guys. Go over, watch the second video in the Sparrow files. There's the link there in the chat. Go and subscribe to Knights of Melvin. He's a great dude, does a lot of great work, and he does his due diligence, does his research, and he's fantastic. And I can't wait to actually watch that second video. So yeah, Sparrow. So that should be good. So go and subscribe to Darth Melvin, everyone. We've got another video that we're going to watch only because Master of the TDS sent it to me. So we'll watch that while we're doing Seal of the Week. All right, let's get into the first topic. First thing that I just wanted to touch on. And the reason why I just want to touch on it is because I've already spoken about this on multiple streams now. Obviously, World Class Bullshitters says, what in the actual fuck? So this is like, and this is going to become more and more like, I guess, evident as we get through the stream because we've got the Star Wars shippers to talk about today. But our nerd and geek entertainment, whether it be comic books, whether it be the comic shows, superhero movies, Star Wars, Star Trek, your fantasy, your sci-fi, it's all being, well, you would think based on how it looks, it's all being overrun by activists and the bullshit that we're getting, right? The sex changes, the race changes, all of those fucking bullshit things. And they are, but it's very, when we get to the shipping thing, it's a very small minority of people in the fan base that are actually like happy about shit like this. The majority of like comic book fans, the majority of Marvel fans, the majority of Star Wars fans, Star Trek fans, Doctor Who fans, whatever, like all these people are hating what they're doing. Whether or not they're like me with Star Wars, watching it because they need to see how much destruction they're actually doing, or whether or not they're even just tapping out and saying this isn't even what it was, so I'm not watching it or not having anything to do with it anymore. But basically what they did is they changed Nightcrawler's lineage. They basically changed Nightcrawler's backstory. So Nightcrawler, and I don't know if it was always this way. I think I got told by somebody that before this change, it was something else. But Nightcrawler is the son of Azazel and Mystique. And that makes sense. You know, to me, it makes sense. And basically what they've done now is they've made Mystique his father, as opposed to Azazel being his father. And I don't want to go too much into this because I've gone into it a lot, but you know, Mystique is a female character. She can transform into being a male character, but I don't think that gives her the ability to... I hate having conversations like this because they're so stupid, but I don't think she's got the ability to make sperm, despite the fact that she transforms into a male, to be able to create a baby the way that they've done it. Basically, they've made Mystique into a trans allegory. It's probably the best way to put it. Totally a butt baby. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's so unnecessary to have to change the lineage of a character like this. Basically, that's basically it. She's not asexual, is the point. And rest in peace, comics. It's funny, you know. Like, obviously, there's still the independent comic creators out there. A lot of them, I like the people that are doing it. I like what they're doing. I like their politics, obviously. Not that politics should come into it as a factor. Unfortunately, it does. But, you know, I was never massive, like, yeah, I read comics here and there, but I was never like a massive collector. I was never a massive, like, I didn't always just sit down and read comics the way that others did and all of that sort of thing. I am one of those people, like, I know that this happened with the Rippaverse, and a lot of his detractors were asking a lot of the people that bought the comic if they'd even read the comic, you know, and they were trying to use that as a gotcha. I am one of those people that will buy a comic and maybe eventually I might sit down and read it. But I won't, not all of them will I sit down and read. I am doing it to support somebody that I like. You know, some of them I've sat down and read, some of them I haven't. And I don't see what the problem is with that. You know, that's just me personally. I know that there's people out there that will buy comic books and sit down and they're so excited when they get it that they sit down and read the whole thing, whatever the case may be. But I got no shame in saying, like, I'll buy a comic book and I won't read it. I purely did it to support the person in their endeavors. I think what they're doing is better than what the mainstream is doing. And to some degree, I feel like in a way I'm helping create a new avenue of entertainment for the people that do like that stuff. And things like this that Marvel decide to do with these characters is an abomination of what the characters were, why the characters were liked. You know, you think about it, fucking Nightcrawler, you know, I mean, my favorite X-Men is Gambit. But I still like Wolverine, you know, still like Cyclops, still like Storm, still like Mystique, still like Nightcrawler. But there's a lot of people that really like the character of Nightcrawler because he's such a deep character. There's a lot to the character. And when you do something like this, it can take away from a lot of that. You know, I wonder how Nightcrawler feels being so Catholic. Is he Catholic or Christian? I think he's Catholic, isn't it? Being so Catholic about his mum and his mum being his mum and his mum and dad. You know, to me, something like that is, it takes away from it. It really does. So that's really all I wanted to, because again, I've talked about this. We talked about it on Flashcast. I talked about it somewhere else. I can't remember exactly whose stream I was on. John Malin. I think it was on Jack's show. We talked a little bit about it. And it's just, to me, it's pathetic. To me, it's pathetic. They can't even come up with, and this is the thing. It's like, okay, let's go straight into this, actually. So this week, I saw this. I shared it in the Flashcast room, and Flash then said, "Oh, this is a channel I'm subscribed to." And I know Flash did a video on this as well. But this video sort of went viral. So this is a 30-year, I was about to say 30-year-old, 30-year comic book shop owner. Comes out with this video. Let me put my headphones in. Yeah, so he's Catholic. All right, let's listen to this really quickly. Oh, do you guys have audio? I might have shared it and then plugged my headphones in, which means that you guys don't have audio. All right, we'll just do it anyway. I won't wait for your response because there's the delay. I'll just quickly do it. All right, let's go back. Here we go.
Most of these new writers don't have the love of comics like these older writers had. And all they care about is, how can I put myself in the book? You don't care who you are. You're writing Tony Stark. You're not writing yourself in a book. If that's the case, write your own comic with you in it. No one will read it because nobody cares. People grew up, are growing up loving Peter Parker, loving Miles Morales, loving all these Captain America. We don't need you to put your input in it. Just write Steve Rogers. Don't write Steve Rogers. What would Steve Rogers be if I was Steve Rogers? That's not how it works.
No.
But that's, again, how most of these new people write nowadays. That's why most of the stuff is shit. Because we don't care what you would do, because we don't care about your life whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Just write a book, get paid for what you do, get paid for what you're supposed to be doing, and make it a good story.
So yeah, like I said, this video pretty much went viral. And a lot of the detractors to what he's actually saying are just going after the way he looks. You know, yeah, okay, he's got a bent tooth. You know, he's a bit on the bigger side, all of that sort of thing. But that doesn't mean and he's obviously got a love for comics. He owns a comic book store and he has owned it for 30 years. That doesn't mean that what he's saying isn't true. Just because a dude looks like, you know, a little bit rough around the edges doesn't mean that what he's saying isn't true. And it goes back to what I was just talking about with Nightcrawler, right? Instead of putting your politics and putting your view of the character into the character and then completely changing the character, completely changing the character's backstory, his lineage, all of that sort of thing, create a whole new character. No one will buy it, and they know that. That's why they've got to basically change a pre-existing beloved character to suit their narrative, to suit what they think the character should be. You know, changing Mystique to be Nightcrawler's dad because she can shapeshift, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck, honestly, about that? Leave it the way it was because that's why people love the character. A lot of people, they like the characters because of their backstory, right? Because of what they went through. Johnny Cates, like I saw on Flash's video, there was actually a lot of the current comic book writers out there that were taking shots at him for the way he looks, not for what he was saying. Putting yourself, and this has been massive more recently with self inserts. A lot of creators are putting themselves, and it's so obvious because they make the character look like them. Giving the character their real world politics. It's actually pretty lame, to be honest. And all they need to do is actually be, for want of a better word of saying it, honorable to the characters that they're writing for. It's not like you should be going in there and going, oh, let's have a look at, like with Wolverine, right? Like making him gay or bisexual. Like even with Superman's son, right? Going in there and making him gay. But see, it's not just a factor of making these characters gay or lesbian or LGBTQ or race swapping them or anything like that. They do it because they think that this is going to get new modern audiences. I don't even understand that narrative. I really don't. It kind of disgusts me that this is where we're going. So, like I said, this guy, this clip from a video off his YouTube channel did go viral. A lot of people is out there saying, yep, he's absolutely right. And then you've got this small Twitter minority, the weirdos, the ones with pronouns in their bios, and the current comic book writers, because they're the ones that are getting most slammed in this video, basically. Stop writing the characters with your fucking identity, with your politics in it. They can't see beyond their own eyelids. And that says a lot. It says a lot of these new creators. It's like, I use the word creators very loosely. Because they're not really creating anything, are they? They're taking something that somebody else created and making it worse, making it their own, but putting their own shit in it. So good on him for coming out and saying that. I mean, there's a lot of comic book stores and stuff like this that have gone under because people are no longer coming in and buying new issues because of the bullshit and politics that's going into it. And it's funny that in this rant that he gives us, he mentions Miles Morales. He knows that people enjoy Miles Morales stories. That's new. He ain't no Peter Parker. He ain't no Spider-Man. But people enjoy reading Miles Morales. Why? Well, probably because it's not as jarring as something like completely changing, like Nightcrawler. It's a rip-off of Peter Parker. It's a rip-off of Spider-Man, but he is his own character. They did a good enough job for people to actually be inspired or get their enjoyment, their escapist enjoyment out of a character like Miles Morales. So, who knows? I think with something like the comic book industry, I don't know if the pendulum's going to swing or whether or not it's just going to eventually die. And then all you've got left is the independents. I mean, if this guy, a comic book store owner, he's been a comic book store owner for 30 years, is saying stuff like this, he mustn't be selling many new issues. I completely agree. Miles Morales will never be Spider-Man, ever. So, good on him. The weirdos going after him. And again, it's they can't they're not saying anything about what he's actually saying. The only backlash that he is getting is based on his looks, the way he sounds, his weight. And that's bullshit. You know, it's kind of like if those people are out there saying, you know, oh, Lizzo, she looks fantastic. She's a 10 out of 10, all of this kind of shit. And then they'll give this guy shit for how big he is. Body shame him because he sees things completely differently than they do. It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. These people should be cancelled for body shaming, shouldn't they? Based on the current rules of society. Fucking weird. Fucking weird people out there, man. Really, really weird. So anyway, I just wanted to touch on those two things. They kind of coincide with each other. They're fucking up more of Marvel. They're fucking up more of the characters that we love. The characters that are actually had a lot of depth. Had great stories. And, you know, it's basically effectively reiterated by this comic book store owner. Fucking bullshit. Lethal says they got upset because he got backed up by Mark. And those weirdos have always wanted Mark on their side. Mark who? Sorry, Lethal. I don't know Mark who. Mark Miller. All right, call me naive. I kind of figured that he was a comic book writer. So he got backed up by Mark Miller. He's a comic book writer. Did he really? Well, that's good. That's good. At least there are still some people out there that actually see it for what it really is. He was on the BBC with Az and Gary. That's cool. Channel name says for 2, the irony of Rhino complaining about fat shaming. Why? Because I think Lizzo's a fat fuck. Hey, I'm not saying that this dude ain't fat. He is. But the fact that he's overweight or he's as big as he is has nothing to do with the point that he made. You know? Lizzo's a fat fuck. This dude's a fat fuck. But Lizzo's a dork, and this guy's making some great points. Don't you think? Thank you for the $2 channel name. Appreciate it. So yeah. Comic books are in a weird place. You know, I backed ISOM. I haven't read it. I've got it. I read the first Cyberfrog book. Haven't read the second one yet. I've got it. I backed Graveyard Shift. I've got the first 3 copies of that. Haven't read them yet, but I got them. And I know that like, you know, John Malin and Ethan and, you know, Ripper and all those guys, they want us reading the books. That's fine. And eventually, one day, I will probably get around to reading them. But for me, it's more about just supporting what they're actually doing. And I don't have a problem with that. Mr. Grant Gregory for $2 says, not true. Rhino loves fat, hairy women. All Greeks do. Thanks, Grant. Fuck you. All Greeks do. And Lethal for 2 says, every TFA, the full Aussie, Rhino be like, this fucking fat black hoe. That's right. Hey, I can disagree and I can agree with fat people. I can disagree and I can agree with black people. It's not based on how they look, and it's not based on how they. It's based more on what they're actually saying, whether or not I think they're a fucking idiot or not. Anyway. There you go. There you go. All right. Let's take a look. We'll get this out of the way. And then we'll get it stuck into some Star Wars. Let me get rid of that tab. And then we'll get stuck into some Star Wars stuff. Smoke it like you mean it. Smoke if you got them. All right. Let's get this out of the way, and then we'll go into some Star Wars theory stuff. Let me put my headphones on. So I saw this, and I actually couldn't believe it. I didn't even know that this was actually a thing that was happening. I like the first Ted movie. The second Ted movie, I don't mind. There's some great moments in it. I love when they go to Comic-Con. I laugh my head off at a lot of that stuff. This is on Rotten Tomatoes Twitter page. I don't know why this is the first place I saw this. But watch the new trailer for Ted, the prequel event series to the films, and it's premiering in January of next year on Peacock. So let's just give this a watch, shall we? Hopefully you got audio. Let me know if you don't. There's a second Ted movie. Yeah, Ted 2. Yeah, I like Mark Wahlberg in it as well. All right, here we go.
Hi, everyone. Seth MacFarlane here, and I am thrilled to share the trailer for our new Peacock original series, Ted, telling the story of Ted and John's early days. Let's take a look.
Hey, Johnny. How bad is school gonna suck?
You're not gonna like it.
How bad?
Well, it's like getting your nuts smashed together so hard they become just one nut.
Holy shit.
You should be going to school every day with John.
No, thanks.
You might have fun.
No, I would not have fun. I guard the house when you guys are out.
What happened to the TV?
It was an accident.
You're going to school and you're gonna grow a fucking brain.
Oh, come on!
If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be. Hey, dork, you bringing your dolls to school?
It's the 90s. Times are changing.
Sexual education. Let's start with masturbation.
If you're going to assign homework, Johnny already did it this morning.
Hey, shut the fuck up, dude.
I haven't smoked, I haven't had sex, I haven't had a girlfriend. I'm gonna lose it.
You and me have been best friends like our whole lives. We're about to get high for the first time. Can we have drugs, please? Let's do this right. Oh, man.
Can you guys believe we're like having an experience in reality?
Is there a fucking gas leak or something?
Nice costume, fuckface.
It's possible that the two of you might not be totals for us.
Take a long look. This is what life is.
Oh, shit, Teddy, I'm the last virgin in school.
We can fix this. We gotta find a buyer. Fresh penis! Get your fresh penis here!
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Still has that new penis smell.
You shut up.
All right, I'm just trying to help.
All right, to be honest with you, that doesn't look too bad. To be honest with you, yeah, it's not bad at all. I'll probably watch it. Like I said, I like the Ted movie. It seems fine. It made me laugh. And yeah, like I said, because I liked that first Ted movie, I feel like this could be done really well. We'll see. McFarlane just isn't funny anymore. Yeah. So it's a TV series. It seems that way. I don't think it's like an exclusive movie or anything like that. Do we even have Peacock here in Australia? Or what would it then be on if it's... What's the affiliation? Is it Binge? I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But hey, like I said, it doesn't look too bad. Made me laugh. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. So Prime. Okay, I got Prime. I give it a shot. I give it a shot too. Give it a shot, see how it goes. I doubt that it would be Disney. I very much doubt it would be Disney. And yes, we will see. We'll see. But yeah, thought I'd share that with you. Thought it was all right. They're basically like turning Ted into a franchise, aren't they? You got 2 movies. Now they're coming out with a prequel TV series. It could be good. It could be good. And this is the other thing too, is we're not getting too many comedies these days that are actually quite comedic. You know. Let's see here. So now two-faced theory. Yeah. Oh, hi, Rhino. Hi. I thought you were already here. I said hello to you earlier. Dr. Coffinails. All right, let's talk some Star Wars theory, shall we? Talk some Star Wars theory. Oh, did I mean to do that? So I know this. I know this. This clip, this video was actually from a little while ago, but it was re-put out on Twitter on the 4th, so 4 days ago. And it just says he's 33, by the way. I remember doing I think we talked about this on this stream on Casual Rage when he first came out with this little clip. But we're going to watch it anyway. So Disney Star Wars. And then Dave Filoni, Star Wars. God, he looks like a retard doing that. Now, I don't know what he's smoking, but like Disney Star Wars and Dave Filoni Star Wars are one and the same thing, man. I don't understand the concept of what point he's trying to make here. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I'm not that stupid. I understand what he's trying to say. But Disney Star Wars and Dave Filoni Star Wars are the same thing. Dave Filoni is creating Star Wars right now under the Disney banner in Disney's canon. And there's so many things wrong with Dave Filoni Star Wars that he I don't know how a fan like Star Wars theory or as big as a fan of Star Wars that Star Wars theory is, that he can think that Dave Filoni is being loyal to George Lucas and the lore of actual Star Wars. So obviously there was this, like I said, this is from a year ago, 6 months ago, something like that. Yes, for $2 from Mr. Grant Gregory, Filoni Star Wars is Disney Star Wars, 100%. And people might make the argument that, but what about the Clone Wars? That wasn't Disney Star Wars. Well, Clone Wars Season 7 was Disney Star Wars. And the Clone Wars isn't anything special. Still to this day, I don't think that there's a lot of Star Wars fans that have actually sat down and watched the Clone Wars. And look, he's, Star Wars Theory's doing a whole nother channel now, and he's got all these different channels and everything set up, and he's a big channel when it comes to the Star Wars stuff. But he came out with this video, and we're going to watch it. And then we've got a couple of other things to watch. So Star Wars is dead. So here's what I'm going to do. Look at some of the... How is it dead? What's this? Yeah, okay. Fucking look at all the fucking stuff they're listing. There's good plans, support. Star Wars is alive. I get you don't like the High Republic books. Like, it's fucking High Republic. We're going to talk a little bit about that. All right, let's just watch this video and see what he has to say here.
Hello. Test. What's up, guys? What's going on? This is a heavy video to make. It's going to be really quick. Before I begin, you have one more day to grab the approved hoodie.
No, we don't want
one day left Monday. Now onto the video. Star Wars is pretty dead. I don't even feel too inclined to be making videos. I just feel like Disney has just really, it's just beyond fatigue. It's like kind of a joke at this point.
The thing that gets me is like he starts the video, and obviously the title of the video is Star Wars is Dead, right? Now, if there's anyone out there that I would think from watching their like, I'm not subscribed and there's only bits and pieces of Star Wars theory that I end up watching. You know, if I like when it came to like the Ahsoka series and he does his watch parties, I don't sit there and watch his watch party, but I'll go to the end just to see what he thought of that episode. If there's one person out there that I would have thought didn't think Star Wars was dead, it'd be him. It'd be Star Wars Theory. I don't know how you can sit there and have a conversation with Ryan Kennel and Mauler and say, like, oh, Dave Filoni's doing it right. Dave Filoni's doing it well. Dave Filoni is effectively the savior of Star Wars, and then come out with a video saying Star Wars is dead. I don't understand that. I just don't get that. It's like he's trying to cater to the people that hate what Disney's doing with Star Wars with a video like this. But then the next video that we're going to watch is like catering to the people that are enjoying what they're doing with Star Wars right now. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I think Star Wars is dead. I think Star Wars is dead in the sense that with what the people that own the franchise now are moving forward with, it's dead. That's not Star Wars. It died a long time ago, and everything that they're coming out with is just it's Star Wars in name only. It's an abomination of real Star Wars. You know, and Sabine becoming Force sensitive in the Ahsoka series, just so much evidence of Dave Filoni not actually, I'd like to say understand what Star Wars is, but I think that Dave Filoni knows Star Wars, but he's just towing the line for Disney. And I don't think that he is the right person. Even if you remove all the people out of Lucasfilm and keep Dave Filoni there and say, okay, Dave, we're going to retcon everything, start again. I still don't think that that's a good thing to do, because he's okay with doing things the way he's done them. And the way he's done them is really, really bad. But this is two-faced to me when it comes to what Theory's saying here.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the channel back to basics, back to what made the channel popular in the first place. You know, over 1 million subscribers in just about a year from inception. And I think that's true testament to the kind of content that I was covering. And maybe, you know, whatever, my style of doing things, whatever. But I'm going to take things back to comics, fan fictions, some animations here and there, all while I prepare for Vader Episode 2, which is being made right now as we speak in animated form. And I'll have something for you guys very soon to show you.
So he's going back to his roots. Now, back before I even started my channel, I was a subscriber to Star Wars Theory. I liked his videos. I liked his lore videos. I liked the way he did it. But this was well before he even did a face reveal. Well before he was, you know, jumping on camera. He was always behind the camera. He was always just narrating, right? He had some good videos. I'm not going to lie, you know. And you could see that in his growth. Like he's saying, he hit 1 million subscribers within a year or something like that. I've been doing it 4 years and I've just hit 5,000 subscribers. So his content was definitely good. Was being the operative word there. But then he fell off a cliff. He fell off a cliff with the sequels. Now, you know, I'm not saying that a person can't change their mind, because I thought The Force Awakens was good. Well, I didn't think it was good. I thought it was fine. I thought it was okay, and I thought it could go somewhere, right? I feel so shit for being sucked in by that. for being sucked in by the whole, oh, it's Star Wars, so it's got to be good. That almost that sort of thing, right? So he's basically saying he's going to go back to his roots and he's going to sort of go back to the way he was doing his videos before maybe all the sequels. Let's continue.
I'll also be covering a lot of the bonus DVD stuff. I'll also be covering a lot of the old Lucasfilm books, like George Lucas era books. You know, the making of Revenge of the Sith, the making of Return of the Jedi, all the first 6 movies, the art of all of those first 6 movies, the blueprints of the prequel trilogy. I got a really cool book on that. The Star Wars archives. We're going to be taking things back to kind of the original basics, somewhat pre-Disney, to be honest here. I just don't feel as inclined to be covering new canon stuff, new Disney stuff. I will be as time goes on if something really catches my interest. But to stay up to date with everything,
I just want to pause there and say, like, he says, you know, he's going to go back and do all the pre-Disney stuff, you know, and he's going to cover little bits and pieces of the stuff that piques his interest when it comes to the Disney stuff. Just keep that in mind for when we watch the next video.
I just don't feel like it really aligns with Star Wars, in my opinion.
But how can you say that? You just had a massive conversation with these other YouTubers saying that Dave Filoni is going to do it right. Didn't you? Am I completely missing that? Again, I don't understand how you can sit there and say Star Wars is dead and almost in the same breath say Dave Filoni is the right person for the job, especially after the promotion that he just got. He's going to be looking over everything. So doesn't that mean that Star Wars is in the best place it's been in your perspective, from your perspective, the best place it's been since Disney took it over? Or am I missing something?
What George created with a lot of the stuff that, you know, that's why I stopped covering the Vader comics. I was so on it, right, for so many years, and they just kind of deviated and made Vader kind of a joke and Luke kind of a joke, and you know, finding the blue lightsaber, throwing it away, then making a yellow one, and it just became kind of ridiculous. So if there's something that interests me, I'm going to cover it. You know, obviously new shows and stuff, we're going to do watch parties, but for the most part, I really want to go back to the basics of the channel. And I know that's not going to be the general consensus, the general interest of, you know, Weekend Warrior Star Wars fans, but at the heart of the core Star Wars fans, I think a lot of people will be really excited for it, really interested. And I see it in the numbers. I see a lot of you guys are showing up to watch those kinds of videos. So I appreciate it. So just want to give this little update that, yeah, I know Star Wars is pretty dead right now, and I don't know when it'll be revived, when it'll come back.
It won't. This is the thing. This is the thing that you've got to, this is the thing. That if you truly believe that Star Wars is dead, right, you've got to believe that the people that are making Star Wars right now aren't doing it right, including Dave Filoni. You've got to come to terms with that. And then you've also got to come to terms with the fact that as long as it's under Disney and as long as the Disney canon stays as the Disney canon and as long as they're not retconning or, you know, decanonizing any of the stuff that they've done, it's going to stay as dead as you're stating it's going to, you're stating that it is. It's going to stay that dead. There's nothing that can change that. Aside from cleaning out Lucasfilm, cleaning out the canon and everything that they've made and starting again and moving forward with EU stories. It's the only way that the pendulum's going to swing to save Star Wars. I also find it funny that, you know, people talk about Star Wars is saved with Dave Filoni and, you know, saving Star Wars and all of this kind of thing. It's funny that the people that say that Star Wars is saved or that Star Wars is being saved are the ones that are saying that, you know, there's some good in there, there's some bad in there. Like, none of the people that are sitting there that think that everything that they've done is shit, like myself, think that it's being saved. But I've also find it funny that these people say that it's being saved when they're sitting there half enjoying the stuff that they're watching. Like, what is it being saved from? You're enjoying it. How can you save something that doesn't need saving in your eyes? That's true. You have to gut Lucasfilm of everyone except for cleaning staff at this point. 100%. Dr. Coffernaus. That they've done irreparable damage to this franchise. You cannot repair it. There's no, rising up from the ashes of this one. It's just not. The only way to do it is to clean out the fireplace and to start again.
I hope soon. But in the meantime, I just want you to know that I'll be taking things back to Dark Horse Comics, prequel trilogy, original trilogy, Clone Wars, behind the scenes stuff, and as much unique content that I can make from stuff that we don't really hear from anymore. So let me know what's one thing that you want me to cover the most. Are you into the comics, the fan fictions, behind the scenes, bonus DVDs, the art of, the making of? What's your pick your poison? What's your interest? And I'll focus on that and I'll make it happen. I also have another channel that I just started and I'm really excited about. We're releasing the first video in just a few days here. It's called Theories Tales. And these are all going to be original short stories.
Is that a little bit of a play on Tales of the Jedi, Theories Tales?
And I'm going to be narrating all of them, doing the voices. I'll eventually hire voice actors for different characters, perhaps. But sky is really the limit. It's essentially fan fictions in my style of writing. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to writing and not being, beholden to, the Star Wars universe, which I feel like I've covered like every fan fiction that there is.
You're now starting to sound like the creators. You don't need to be beholden by Star Wars. Okay.
And different renditions of it almost. So I'm excited for this new channel and I hope you'll join it. I'll also put the link in the description along with the merch. If you guys want to grab it, it's the last day it's available. Use code THEORY at checkout for a discount. And if you remember, you got your 50 weird video, didn't want to have to make this, but I mean, with the state of things, even myself, I notice it in people's interests, and people aren't too interested in Star Wars all that much right now. So it's kind of very, very dry. So I want to take things back and be like, yeah.
Is that because Dave Filoni has fucking got more involved and is doing more damage to the franchise? Like, please explain this to me, Star Wars Theory, because I don't understand where you're coming from. It's like I said, I don't understand how you can go from one extreme to another so quickly without anything in between coming out. From the end of the Ahsoka series, he loved the first 6 episodes of Ahsoka, thought the last 2 fell off a little bit. Dave Filoni is, the one being most loyal to George and most loyal to Star Wars. But it was painful to make this video. You hope that it can get back on track. What needs to get back on track? You thought it was good. You gave the entire series an 8 or something out of 10. I don't get it.
All right, you know what? Instead of not making any content, I want to make content that I really enjoy. So I'm going to go back to the basics, back to the stuff that really made the channel popular in the very beginning. And I'm looking really forward to that because it makes me happy. And you guys can probably tell in my cadence, my energy of the videos that I make. When I make those videos, I'm genuinely excited. Like, I'm happy. Like, that little kid sparks up again.
Oh, I hate the narrative of the little kid sparking up again.
He's like awake. He's like, oh, cool. Yeah, let's talk about this. So I think it's just better for all of us right now. And yeah, I'm going to go for that. So let me know what you want to see.
All right. That's pretty much that video. I saw Knights of Melbourne in the chat. How you doing, Melvin? Good to see you. Yes, on the spacing tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun. Should be a lot of fun. If you guys aren't subscribed to Tim, Open Airlock Policy, go over and subscribe. You'll see me over there tomorrow, do a one-on-one interview with Tim, Open Airlock Policy. And of course, if you're not subscribed to Knights of Melvin, go and subscribe to Knights of Melvin. We watched his video last week on the Sparrow Files, and he did just drop the second one today. So go and check that out. Good to see you, Melvin. So there was that video. Star Wars is dead. And then, so that was dropped on the 4th. And then on the 6th, we've got this. Andor Season 2, bad news. Let's take a listen to what he has to say about this.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Seems like we got a bit of a schedule here for some of the Star Wars shows coming out in the next couple of years, which is great. So in a press...
Which is great. Okay, first of all, on that first video that he did, like, I'm not going to deny the fact that he's probably going to go out and do some of those things from the non-Disney era of Star Wars, and he's going to go back to his roots and all of this kind of thing. But I do find it funny that he comes out with that video 2 days prior to this one, and then he comes out and so one of the first things that he says is...
Yo, what's going on, guys? Seems like we got a bit of a schedule here for some of the Star Wars shows coming out in the next couple of years, which is great. So...
Oh, man, it hurts my brain. Oh, it hurts my brain. Let's just continue. I don't know what more to say.
So, in a press release on Disney's UK website, the studio highlighted all of the original content coming to Disney Plus in 2024. Shows such as Marvel Studios, Lucasfilm Star Wars, The Acolyte, Star Wars Skeleton Crew were all listed, but Andor was left off of the calendar entirely, hinting that the second and final season of the show won't be released until maybe 2025 at the earliest. Andor Season 2 was originally scheduled for release in the fall of 2024, 2 years after the first set of episodes came out on the stream. So, yeah, I guess, maybe 2025 if we're lucky, 2026 potentially even. Star Wars Andor.
If we're lucky. The way he's talking about it is like Star Wars isn't dead, and like loves the idea of these shows coming. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Andor Season 2's filming was paused for months as a result of the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes, which seems to have played a pivotal role in this new delay. An initial teaser trailer was shown to attending fans at Star Wars Celebration Europe earlier this year, highlighting the titled character fully joining the rebellion and the series getting closer to Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Now, the thing with Season 2 of Andor is it's going to be much more exciting than the first one, I think, because we're going to be doing time jumps in each episode. I think every 3 episodes is like a major time jump. And
does this sound like a person that thinks that Star Wars is dead? Does this sound like a person that sounds disappointed in Disney Star Wars? This is 2 days after he puts out a grifter video, basically. To me, that Star Wars is dead video seems like a clickbait video so we could do a merch fucking little plug. And he also said in that video that he's only going to do videos on the new stuff that that piques his interest. So all these new shows are piquing your interest, so you thought you'd do a video on it? I sit there and I do videos here and there. Obviously, I haven't put out as many videos as I probably should or probably would like to, right? But I put videos out there on stuff that I hear in regards to Star Wars, and I don't sit there and say that, I'm happy for it, I'm excited for it. I do sit there and say, we'll have to wait and see what this actual show is going to be like or what it's going to be about or anything like that. And the reason why I sit there and watch it, and I've told you guys this on multiple occasions, is that because I need to know what they're doing to destroy more of Star Wars. It pretty much comes down to that. So yes, I'm going in there with the expectation that I'm not going to like this show. Because as far as I'm concerned, Lucasfilm, Disney haven't done anything to gain my trust that they can tell a good Star Wars story. Not a thing. Not one thing. You know, despite even the 1-2 episodes in The Bad Batch that I thought were decent, that I thought, holy shit, they actually got a little bit of emotion in there. They've actually got a little bit of a story in there, within their own canon, mind you, which is garbage. But I've never once sat there and said, yeah, Star Wars is dead. And then in the very next video or the very next sentence gone, oh, this could be interesting. This could be something that, you know, turns the corner. I mean, you know how I feel about Andor Season 1. It was boring, it was slow, and it was damaging. Not as damaging as some of the other things out there, and the character work that was in them was probably a little bit better than all the other shows that they've done. Still doesn't mean that it was good by any stretch. Where are we moving forward with Andor Season 2? I don't know. With how many people didn't care about Andor Season 1, how many people do you think are really going to care about Andor Season 2?
And also, this is leading into Rogue One, which I thought was a great film, which means that we could be getting Krennic. We could be getting Tarkin. We could be getting some more powerful characters in there.
He seems pretty interested in a franchise that's dead. Wouldn't you say?
Characters that are higher up. Personally, I thought Krennic was one of the most interesting characters that were created in Rogue One. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get Vader or Palpatine or anything like that. I still think this is more so of a Empire-based officers kind of show, you know, officers, generals, things like that. The construction of the Death Star being brought to formation. I think that's really the...
I get that, E. Clay. There's a lot of people who think Star Wars is dead, still like Andor. This is the thing, though, is you got to remember that Andor still sits in the same timeline and the same canon as all the other stuff. So despite the better work that they might have done in regards to characters, it still doesn't change where it sits within the timeline. And it still doesn't change a lot of the stuff that they did do in that series. Like, one of my biggest problems with Andor is Mon Mothma. One of my biggest problems with Disney Star Wars in general is how I was going to say the resistance. The rebellion is formed. You know, we haven't seen anything yet to say that Bail Organa is any part of the forming of the resistance. Fucking resistance. The rebellion. Perfect opportunity to bring him into that sort of story is, who's Luthen? Who gives a fuck who Luthen is, really, at the end of the day? Why is Mon Mothma selling off her daughter? Why is Mon Mothma married to this piece of shit? Why is Mon Mothma even bothering to give money credits to Luthen? And then completely fucking blows up at him for essentially using those funds to create a fucking rebellion. You know? Breaking credits out of Aldani. You know, it's hard for me to say, but Andor is probably the best show that they've done. And that's not me sitting here saying that I think it's good or any good in any way, shape, or form. I actually think it's trash, and I think it's boring, and I think it's silly, and I think it's stupid, and I think that there's a lot of elements to it that actually don't make sense, and they completely drop certain elements, certain storylines, certain plot points. You know, the person that created it isn't a Star Wars fan, didn't even bring droids or fucking aliens or anything really into it, specifically talks about that. You know, it's like Andor cares so much about finding his sister in the very first episode, and then just, that's it. That's completely it. But yet, it's still got good character work. I don't know. I don't know if that's actually really that good. Oh, Ronnie, you're going to wait for season 2. You'll probably be more inclined to fucking be more interested in finding your sister again. You really think that they're going to go back to that narrative? Anyway, I've gone off on a bit of a tangent here. We're talking about Star Wars theory, thinking Star Wars is dead, and then saying that he's not really going to make too many videos, if any, on the new stuff, and then comes out 2 days later and sounds very positive about the shit he's talking about.
Focus of the show as we go into Rogue One. So that's definitely going to be on the forefront. You know, I think we're going to get characters like that, but I don't think we're going to be getting much of Vader or Palpatine, which is fine because it's not really about them at the end of the day. We could get glimpses. Maybe. We'll see what happens. Andor Season 1 received rave reviews from fans and critics alike, earning 96% and 86% Rotten Tomatoes in these categories specifically. The show is praised for its gritty, character-driven narrative that moved Star Wars galaxy away from the Jedi and the Sith and instead towards the dark and serious nature of the galactic civil war. Diego Luna, Stellan Skarsgård... Oh, okay, we don't need to read that. The Star Wars franchise still has plenty of new stories to come next year, both in live action and animation. Disney reconfirmed that The Acolyte and Skeleton Crew are still coming next year. 2 new shows that will tell unique stories in a galaxy far, far away. The Acolyte is set at the end of the High Republic era, making the new show the furthest in the past the franchise has ever gone in live action. According to creator Leslie Headland, the series is said to invoke the Prime Jedi era that the prequels also explored. Skeleton Crew, meanwhile, will join the Mandalorian era shows and connect with Jon Favreau created shows, as well as the Book of Boba Fett and this year's Ahsoka. I don't know how Skeleton Crew would incorporate that, but it's going to be around the same time. I don't think it's even going to incorporate that. Now, I do think that Acolyte has a ton of potential, despite Leslie Headland's erroneous claims towards George Lucas and the prequel trilogy on this and that. But I think the overall premise for the show is actually really interesting. And the
Do you guys understand what my problem is with what he's saying here? After the video that he put out 2 days prior to this? But not only that, like The Acolyte as a series, are we seriously going to think that they can do it well enough to still hide the Sith from the Jedi 100 years before the Phantom Menace? I just don't get it. How can...
The leaks that have come out with the story, really interesting. But
But
again,
really interesting. I thought you said in a video 2 days prior to this that there's nothing out there that they're doing that actually piques your interest in it. Star Wars is dead. What the fuck? Seriously, dude. Oh my God. I don't know that even the people out there that actually like Disney Star Wars and think that Disney Star Wars is the best Star Wars we've ever had, right? They probably got pissed off at him for doing a video about Star Wars being dead and then come back and start sucking his dick again because he's excited for the fucking Acolyte to come out. It is. It's an oxymoron. You can't have it both fucking ways. With the diff, not the Sith. Totally okay. Fuck. How you doing, Greg? Good to see you, man. Fucking hell. I don't know how people can't see the hypocrisy here. And I'm not even a person that sits there and watches religiously every video that he comes out with. Like I said, I'm not even subscribed to his channel anymore. Not that my unsubscription fucking puts a dent in what the fuck this fucktard does. But you're excited for Leslie Headland's Acolyte? You think that there's potential there? God damn.
It's all about writing. It's all about dialogue. And we're going to see where it goes from there. You know, hopefully not pushing agendas, but they're pushing story. On the animation side of things, Star Wars Bad Batch final season is also set to come out on Disney Plus next year, so 2024. And the new episodes were recently teased by the show's writer, Tales of the Jedi Season 2, which is also set to come out next year, telling new isolated stories of unique Jedi in a galaxy far, far away. So 2024 is absolutely jam-packed with shows. How well these shows are going to be received, I'm not really sure. But we got the Skeleton Crew, which I still don't really know all that much about. Like a bunch of kids on a ship going through space. I don't know. And like the main villain is the pirate from Mando season 3. Not too sure what's going on there, but I guess we'll see. And was it the Jude Law character? Is he a Jedi? Someone correct me on this, please, in the comments. Whether this is on X or on YouTube, because I dual upload. So Bad Batch season 3, I think it is, final season, coming out next year. Tales of the Jedi season 2, coming out next year. Skeleton Crew, Acolyte. And then Andor season 2 probably the following year. But anything beyond that, I think we'll probably get in 2026 for the movies. The James Mangold movie, which will be the Dawn of the Jedi, the Rey movie, or the Dave Filoni movie. I think we'll only get one of those movies in that year, maybe both, but I don't think so. So, yeah, I mean, look, next year we'll have quite a bit of Star Wars, I think, but it's not like huge hitters that we're all too excited about. Except for Tales of the Jedi Season 2 is something I'm looking forward to by far the most of any production. And sadly, it's like the shortest,
Oh my God. Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is dead. I just want to say hello to Wicked. Hello, Wicked. How are you? Good to see you. We're having some fun at fucking Star Wars Theory's expense here. He's excited for Tales of the Jedi. Jesus Christ.
Like 10-minute episodes. And there's only a few of them. I think there's only 6. Why not make 20 if they're freaking 10 minutes long? I don't know. Whatever. So I'm looking forward to doing the live watch parties with you guys, to be honest, because I do miss those. It's really engaging with the community, and every week we can talk about the episodes and stuff and the shows. I just don't know what the release schedule is going to be like. Bad Batch season 2, Skeleton Crew, Tales of the Jedi season 2, and then Acolyte. I have a feeling Acolyte's going to come out in the winter. I just have a feeling. I don't know. I could also see summer, but I just think it's probably their biggest show that they have to release for next year. And I bet they want to do it well. And everyone is home around the winter time, more so than summer when they're out and about and doing stuff. But then again, they released Kenobi around the summer. So you never can really tell what their thought pattern is or what the marketing numbers and analytics and data show. So, hey, at least we get, 4 Star Wars projects coming out next year. Mind you, Tales of the Jedi just comes out in one shot. It's not spoon-fed to us. It's not, drip method, which will be, that's good and bad. But yeah, looking forward to a lot of the watch parties. Looking forward to seeing you guys more. Looking forward to talking about more new Star Wars, whether it's good or bad. It's going to be fun and engaging and something to do.
Again, he's looking forward to it, but Star Wars is dead. I don't know.
Let me know which project you're most excited for, and I'll be reading the comments. Catch you in the next video. Until then, remember the Force will be with you. Always.
Okay. Thanks, Star Wars Theory. So 2 days prior to that, he comes out with a video saying Star Wars is dead, that he's going to go back to his roots, and he's not really going to be covering much of the new stuff. 2 days later, he starts covering some of the new stuff. and he talks about how excited he is for some of that new stuff. On the same day, he comes out with this video. Good news for sequel fans and Rey fans. See what he says in this one.
What's up, guys? How you doing? Seems like we have some news regarding the Rey movie. I scrolled past all this extra stuff, so I'm not going to bore you with it. So we're just going to get right into the info. It seems like there's a date for filming, and it's going to be around summer of 2024. But this article and a bunch of other ones say, during a recent episode of the Hot Mic podcast, Snyder revealed that he wouldn't be surprised if we got Star Wars news this month, particularly in regards to casting. The host explained that he believes there are things lying in wait, possibly casting news that are already done, adding, I think that the Daisy Ridley movie has its leads already, and it's just a matter of a reporter finding out. It's previously been reported that the untitled movie will feature 2 black leads, one male and one female, as the students Rey is teaching to carry forward the ways of the Jedi. Snyder is likely referring to the supporting actors that will play Rey's apprentices here. However, he could also be speaking to John Boyega's return as ex-Stormtrooper Finn, who's long been rumored to appear in the upcoming film as a Jedi. I mean, yeah, that would be sweet. I mean, if Boyega's going to return, even though he said he's like done with it, you know, they're actually going to give him the role that he should have had in the beginning, which was being a Jedi. You know, a Stormtrooper that was probably mind-wiped, who was a Jedi before that, maybe at Luke's temple. Who knows? This isn't the only Rey movie-related news that's come to light over the weekend. According to production lists, Untitled Star Wars film is expected to begin shooting next year at Pinewood Studios in the UK, with an April start date being the widely believed period. Yeah, so I see some articles saying April. I think there's another one here.
Now, there's a bit of news to this. We're going to talk about this after this.
In the summer, and I think that was from, yeah, right here. The rumor that production on the Daisy Ridley-led Star Wars film is set to begin April 2024 is incorrect. According to a source we contacted, the script is reportedly not ready yet. And due to delays caused by the strike, we don't expect filming to start before the summer. So if this movie starts filming next summer, which is what, like 8 months from now? 6 months from now? It's probably going to release 2026, I would imagine. At the very, very earliest, best case scenario, probably like the winter of 2025.
And how do you feel about that, Star Wars Theory?
Being hopeful, if you're into this film. I'm not into this film, but
hey, he's not into it.
I'm gonna see it anyway, and I'm gonna talk about it, of course. And hey, dude, who knows? Maybe it's gonna absolutely blow my mind, and it's gonna be like, you know what? It was a good movie.
The fact that he's still got that hope there, you know what I mean? Like that he's still got that. Oh, maybe it will be good. Like, no, dude. I don't see under any circumstances how they make this movie good. Like, I feel like they're going to throw everything at it, like Grogu and fucking the characters that people like in the shows that they've come out with. It wouldn't surprise me if they try and prop up fucking Daisy Ridley or you know, Rey's character with Boba Fett and Grogu and Mando and Bo-Katan and Ahsoka, you know, so that they throw all the characters that, you know, these Disney Star Wars fans love with a character that, you know, they hated. The you know, the ones that are completely split and believe in like the Civil War and shit like that. I mean, there's still people out there that believe in all of that stuff and think that the retcons and everything are still happening. So, man, you know, it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day, how split the fan base, the Star Wars fan base, like really is. And not just split into two different parts, but like it's split. There's so many different sections of the fan base that like, oh, I hate this, but I love this. I hate this and I hate this and I hate this, but this is okay. And then you've got like people that are just like, all of it's shit. And then you got people that are like, all of it's good. And like, there's so many different sections of the fan base now where I just don't, the ones that I don't understand are those ones that sit there and say that like the sequels are shit, but the TV shows are good. They're the ones that I don't get, because there's so many connections now between them that I don't know how you can't see it. I don't know how you can be so blind to it that you actually think that they're retconning it, or, you know, they're going to decanonize those parts of it. Anyway,
good story. I don't see that happening, but you know, I'd love to be surprised. So yeah, that's the information on the Daisy Ridley movie. I can go on to a whole spiel about.
All right, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it with that. So my whole point of that is, like, obviously we started with that video of him, like, you know, the Disney Star Wars and Dave Filoni Star Wars, thinking that they're a separate thing. Then he goes on and he makes a video 4 days ago about how Star Wars is dead, and that he's going to stop covering the new Star Wars stuff and go back to his roots and start covering the old Star Wars stuff. And then 2 days later, he comes out with a video basically, you know, saying how they're coming out with some new stuff that he's sort of excited for. So I don't know how you can say Star Wars is dead and then pretty much say that stuff as well. And that's my whole point with Star Wars theory. And he's not the only, I'm sure that he's not the only one out there that's probably doing this and thinking this. He's just the biggest one out there, and that's why I notice it. You know, he's got the biggest reach. I wish he would just not take a side per se, but like, I wish he would just be honest with what he's saying. I don't know how they could sit there with that conversation that he had with Ryan and with Mauler, and them basically shitting and tearing apart majority of the Dave Filoni stuff that's come out, and him still say that he thinks that Dave Filoni Star Wars is the way forward. And he sit there in agreement with what they're saying, but still say that. But then to also come out and say that Star Wars is really dead at the moment, and then come out and say, like, oh, I'm sort of excited for Tales of the Jedi. I think that could be good. You know, The Acolyte has potential. There's a possibility that that could be good, and I like it. You know, I'm going into these shows with the expectation that it's just going to be, first of all, woke bullshit garbage, you know, like this.
Put a ticket in and make it lame and gay!
Is it playing? I don't even know if that played. Honestly, don't know what happened there, because I'm probably sitting there looking fucking stupid because fucking StreamYard. All right, let's try that again. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Fucking StreamYard. Are you going to fucking... God damn you, StreamYard. No, I'm not changing. StreamYard just needs to fix their shit. It played. Boomer. It wasn't my fault. Let's see what happens now if I play it.
Put a ticket in and make it lame and gay!
I was probably sitting there for ages. That's what the Acolyte's going to be. Put a chick in it, make it lame and gay. Anyway. Now I can't even fucking remember what I was actually saying. Anyway, that is that. Let's go on to something that he did just touch on. Let me get rid of these tabs. Get rid of that one and get rid of that one. Okay, so I believe that this is a bit of a bamboozle report. So I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know why they're sort of publicizing that they're going to be starting filming or whatever, but the upcoming Rey Skywalker, Star Wars movie is reportedly set to begin filming on April 7th, 2024. Are you excited for the movie? No. To answer that question. I'm sort of excited for how much it's going to fucking fail, really. I will bring that up in a second. So this was the report that came out that they're going to start filming on the 7th of April, 2024. But then there was also this. So the reports of the Rey Star Wars movie set to film in April is false. The script isn't done yet. Now, this is why I don't understand the report, though. Like, I don't know who the source was that came out and said it. Whether or not it was somebody at Lucasfilm or not, I don't know. But like, if the script isn't even done yet, when are they going to actually have that completed? When are they actually going to start filming? I still think, and I think with most people that are out there, I still think it's a big mistake to do this. And there should be enough evidence for those people that do think that they're going to decanonize or retcon the sequels to say that they're not. I know. I can't believe that they're tripling down on it, fucking turds. It's beyond me. It really is. So that's the news in regards to the Rey stuff. It was a false report to say that they're going to start filming in April next year. They haven't even finished a script as far as from what we can see now. And I don't know where even that report comes from. I'm just seeing what I've been seeing. I watched Ryan's video on it as well. It's beyond me. They will always hold on to hope. I guess to some degree that's fine. Like, if you really want to have the hope that they can turn the corner and turn these stories that they've actually created into something good, I'm not there. I'm not even close to there. There is no hope for Disney Star Wars. I've given you my thoughts on what I think that the only way that Star Wars could be saved. Was it Sparrow that came up with those rumors? Was it really? I don't know. Does Disney deserve our hope? That's a great question. And this is the point that I've made on multiple occasions. Like, I don't think that anything that they've done, we should give them any hope. That's why when I go into these shows, I go in with the expectation that it's going to be shit. Now, if something happens where I think it's kind of like with that episode in the Bad Batch, right? The one with Crosshair in it. Like, that was a decent episode within Disney's canon. There was nothing in the episode that destroyed anything. Problem is that it's in Disney's canon. So as it moves forward, it does go to complete shit. You know. So I'm looking forward to the movie for all the wrong reasons. I'm not going to the theater to see it. I'm not going to contribute to the box office of it. If anything, I'll find a way to get a free ticket of it. But I certainly won't be watching it. I most likely will be reviewing it and giving my thoughts out there, probably putting together a good video for it, all of that sort of thing. So that's my thoughts on that moving forward. And it'll be the same thing with the Dave Filoni movie. It'll be the same thing with the James Mangold movie. And moving forward with all the TV series and everything, I'll be doing my normal reviews and shit like that of that. Season 2, episode 12. You are right, Raging Rhino. I think that's the episode. The one where basically it's just Crosshair. He's on that snow planet or whatever, and he goes there, and you know, the other guy that I can't remember the other clone's name, but he builds a bond with him, sees that the Empire is no longer the Empire that he was serving. Yeah, Flash will probably send a free ticket. Yeah. Let's hope. If it gets made in the first place, I think it will. I don't think that they paraded Daisy Ridley up on stage at Star Wars Celebration for nothing like that. Like, just for what? Like, honestly, you think about how much people hate the sequels. Why would they do that? To not make it. You know what I mean? Yeah, he kills the officers at the end. Yeah. The officer, sorry. And the other troops that are around him. No, that episode was good. It goes to show that they can actually tell a decent story. I know it's an isolated episode in that sense. And it is in Disney's canon. But it proves to me that there is something that they could do. But even despite that one episode there, it doesn't give me any hope or any faith that they can actually tell a good Star Wars story, especially in the universe. Mark of Reality, thanks for the new member. What at the tracking fob level? Appreciate that. Really do. We're going to update our little membership screen playthrough thing for the end of the stream. I'll try and at least update it once a month so that, you know, whoever falls off, because obviously with the gift memberships, they're only gifted for that month. If the person then renews it, fantastic. If not, then obviously they fall off. So I've got to try and keep that as updated as I possibly can. And if you do become a member, you get access to the emojis, and you do get that shout out at the end of videos and the end of the stream. And that's just through that video. And Mr. Grant Gregory's been helping me with that, which I really appreciate. Plasman for 5. How you doing, Plasman? Good to see you. Little silver nuggets inside the cesspit, that is Disney Star Wars. That's right. That's exactly right. I'm not saying that they can't have a good moment here and there. I'm not saying that they couldn't have the possibility of an entirely good episode snuck in here and there. Majority of it is shit. I will say the only episodes of anything that they've done that I actually thought was actually any good was that one from the Bad Batch that I was telling you about. And there's that sort of double episode, that mid-season double episode in the Bad Batch as well that I thought was decent. And that was the one with that blue-skinned senator lady not wanting to just, throw out the clones. Actually wanting to give them sort of like a pension. But also, too, the clones are bred and built and made the way that they are for combat. So it's also seeing a little bit of their struggle in regards to basically not being useful anymore. So there's a couple of episodes in that, but other than that, in all the live action stuff that they've done, I don't think that there's one episode that I think's any good. A moment. Fuck. I can't think of anything from Mando. Obi-Wan Kenobi, no. I don't think that there's any good, like, even just snippets in Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't think that there's any good snippets in the Book of Boba Fett. There's certainly no good snippets in the Ahsoka series. There's nothing, for me, there's no real good snippets in the Andor series either. Clone Wars Season 7. No. No. There's nothing in there. Honestly, I like the only thing that I can think that they actually, and even in Tales of the Jedi, there's nothing good in those. Yeah, that's really it. There's a couple of good moments and a couple of good episodes in The Bad Batch. But see, even The Bad Batch is closer to tying into the sequels more than some of these other shows with the cloning stuff that they were doing, right? You know, I absolutely hate the fact that there's two female clones of Jango Fett. Echo's sacrifice. This is the thing. It's in Disney's canon. So it's not like I care so much. If that was in, like, if they were telling good stories, for me, that scene probably would have had a lot more weight behind it. And do you really think Echo's dead? Was it Echo that died? I think it was Echo that sacrificed himself. Or was it Tech? It might have been Tech. It was one of those two. But do you really think he's dead? It was Tech. Yeah. Okay, cool. He fell to his death. What do you think is going to happen in season 3? Do you reckon they went down to his body and grabbed some of his blood? Made a clone out of a clone? A copy of a copy of a copy? Multiplicity? They do it like that? We'll see. Nobody's ever really gone. That's right. That's right. Anyway, bring on the Rey movie. You know who should make it? Rian Johnson. Fucking, it should be the start of his trilogy. Give it to him. Give it to him. All right, we get rid of that. All right, Mike Hill sent me this. There's Mike in the chat. How you doing, Mike? He sent me this morning. Let's see here. Hey, we got a good crowd in here. Please smash the like button if you haven't. If you haven't subscribed, please smash the subscribe button. It's free. It's fucking free, man. Oh, hang on. Before I get into this, sorry. Mark of Reality for 5 says, I think those activist executives are destroying our culture maliciously, on purpose. I kind of agree. I think they are too. And I think many of them should be in jail. Billions of dollars lost. I don't know about the jail thing. Obviously, like, maybe. I don't know. I think for being thrown in jail for maliciously destroying our culture, I don't know if that's a jailable offense. I know what you're saying. But I do think, Kathleen Kennedy, Dave Filoni. I know there's people out there that disagree with me on Jon Favreau. All these writers, these new writers, the High Republic writers and stuff like that. They're all activists. That's what they're now being paid to do, be activists in the Star Wars universe. But it's not just isolated to Star Wars either. You've got the Star Trek, you've got Doctor Who, you've got Marvel. We talked about it earlier with the Nightcrawler thing. They are out there purely to destroy the things that we love. And I don't get that. Like, they say that they're doing it for new audiences. We've talked about this before too. The new audiences that are out there aren't their new audience. They don't care about this stuff. They certainly don't care about the lore and the continuity and the canon of it all. And the continuity of that canon. What they care about is who's fucking who. What they care about is who are they going to represent next. That's what they care about. And that's what these new fans care about. The new fans come from generations. Come from generations. Oh, dude. Indiana Jones. Like, you name it. You name it and they're destroying it. The Disney fantasy fucking animated stuff and changing those into live action. I don't give a fuck about that stuff, but they're still fucking changing it from what it was. They're still going against the source material. Snow White, fucking Little Mermaid, all of the shit that I really don't give a fuck about. The Lion King live action remake. So what's important to these people? All right. Let's talk about Pedro Pascal for a second here. So I don't know if you've seen this. There's a little bit of it's kind of a trend that's been sort of going around. People get hooked up to a polygraph, a lie detector, and they get asked some out there weird questions. God, his face looks stupid. Him in his pink jumper. This is another activist actor. I reckon to get the roles that he's gotten, he's let something go in his butt. For sure. Let's take a listen to the questions that he gets asked and his responses while he's on this polygraph.
Do you think you're a heartthrob?
I don't think
he's lying.
Really? That's right. Oh. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm a heartthrob. Am I lying? If that's the truth, I'm a heartthrob.
Is it a lot of pressure being a heartthrob?
No.
Do you ever look at Instagram accounts devoted to you being a heartthrob when you're feeling down?
Yes, I do.
So when he's feeling down, he'll go to Instagram and look at the people that love him. Wow. No, it's not that funny, dude.
What's your favorite account?
It's called Pedro Pascal fan account.
I don't even know if like I don't. If there was a Raging Rhino fan account out there, first of all, I don't think there is. I'm not that important. I'm not that big. I'm not that good, right? I don't even know if I'd care that much. I mean, I'd appreciate the fact that there's even somebody that put a fan account out there. But that is pathetic. He thinks he's a heartthrob based on the lie detector detecting that he was lying when he said no. And seems pretty up himself. Likes to go there when he's feeling down so he can see what all the people that love him are saying about him. Good for you, Pedro. In a way, I'm almost happy that he just doesn't want to do it. It almost seems like he doesn't want to do the Star Wars thing anymore. He's there just to do the voice acting. He's never in the suit or anything like that. You never know. That wasn't an implication to go and start a fucking fan account. I'm starting one. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Fucking fan cams and shit. It's just silly. I'm happy doing what I'm doing and being in my own little quiet corner with you guys, enjoying what I'm saying, contributing to the conversation. That's enough for me. It really is enough for me. All right. The Star Wars Twitter or X account. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'll go there when I'm feeling sad. Put a smile on the dial. So, the Star Wars Twitter or X account has been, pushing out the High Republic again like you wouldn't believe. There's so much that they're talking about when it comes to Star Wars The High Republic, and so little people care. Out of the 145,000 people that came across this tweet and watched this video, 730 of them liked it. You can leave comments, but it says that there's 0. That's not true. Oh my God, hey. Fucking stupid. Anyway. Yeah, so it's actually quite small. The High Republic is fucked up. Like, it is a disaster. And I can't remember whose video it was that I watched, but they showed like the declining numbers of sales from the very first book to where they're up to now. There are people out there that are reading them, but it's very, very small. In the entirety of the fan base, which, is huge. If you culminate, let's say, how I said that it's all separate. If you culminate all of those into the Star Wars fan base, it is tiny. A tiny, tiny, tiny percentage of Star Wars fans are buying these books and reading them. I reckon there's more people out there right now that are actually buying EU books and reading those than there are buying this new stuff. So, need Star Wars The High Republic book Rex recommendations. Daniel Jose Older, Teresa Grattan, I don't know, and Charles Saul have got you covered. Let's take a listen.
A book that I would recommend that I didn't write is Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule. It is an amazing introduction to the High Republic. There's so many amazing characters, there's so many amazing creatures. You will love this book.
The Star Wars book that I love to recommend is Out of the Shadows by Justina Ireland. It gives
Justina Ireland.
such a good introduction
That looks like her on the front cover.
to so much of the
Self-inserts.
politics and action and adventure of the High Republic with
And notice her t-shirt as well. LGBTQ representation. Yeah.
absolutely unforgettable characters that have continued to be my favorite.
I mean, I think it's got to be The Eye of Darkness by George Mann. It's a wonderful book that picks up right where Phase 1 ended in the High Republic and launches us into the next phase of adventure. I've read it, I think, 4 times, and it got better each time.
A book that
There's your recommendations for the High Republic, people. Does anyone care? Nope. Is anyone going to care? Nope. And The Acolyte is going to be your live-action TV series of the High Republic, basically. Headed by Leslie Headland. Yeah. There you go. There you go. But let's actually go back to that for 1 second. Let's just scroll through the Star Wars Twitter page right now. So you got 6.4 million followers. This guy's been everywhere, all over it. What? Emmy winner for Visions. Okay. She looks like an activist. That's a Star Wars fan, apparently. Okay.
On Instagram, I just wanted everyone to know how much I loved and appreciated this journey, and there's just nothing like it. I just remember just having this moment of gratitude and that I could be a part of this amazing universe with all its amazing people and the cast and the crew, and I'm just forever grateful. When I
Okay.
Shooting, I had just finished. They were like, okay, we'll come take off your outfit in a second, just wait in your room. And it was the first time it sort of dawned on me, like, I'm in Star Wars. Like, this is as Star Wars as it gets, I think. So I wanted to take a picture, but I also wanted the fact that I'm in the entire outfit to be in the picture. And for some reason, that was the way I did that. And now it looks funny.
Now it looks funny.
this photo on Instagram, I just wanted everyone to know.
Oh, it's like, can the cast of Ahsoka talk about the photos they took off, behind the scenes?
We spent so many days in that ship, I don't even know what scene it was, but we were just having a lot of fun.
I decided to take a photo.
I just wanted to get such an iconic moment of Hu Yang in the seat behind me, and Ro and I just goofing off and having fun. It was kind of like what a lot of the show was for me. That was definitely one of my favorite memories.
I couldn't agree with you more, Darth Spamton. Weird but true. National Geographic. Okay. Okay. Hoth history. Okay. Galaxy of Heroes. I want you to also look at the likes on these. Let's just scroll back up to like this one. 1,600. 1,500. 2,800. 480. 888. 1,600. 4,600. 500. Because it's High Republic crap. More High Republic crap. 188. This is a fucking page that's got 6 million subscribers, everyone. 700.
Tasha, and I think Iman will be thrown out of the Lucasfilm office first.
I'm Diana, and I think Iman will be the first person thrown out of the Lucasfilm office.
My name is Ivana, and I think Iman will be thrown out of the Lucasfilm office first.
Why? Because he's a dude?
My name is Iman, and I think Ivana is going to be kicked out of the Lucasfilm office first. What? What did everyone else say?
What is this? Oh, this is funny. Look, he went into Star Wars and he stole his helmet and then he got kicked out. Oh, we'll get to that in a second. That's a part of a whole different thing. So anyway, I just wanted to show you like the engagement that Star Wars is even getting on their own Twitter page. It's fucking nothing in comparison to what it probably should be if you're a Star Wars fan. 6 million followers on the page, and they're getting like the most is around 4,000, and that's one. So there's a lot there that are even under 1,000 likes. Nobody cares about Disney Star Wars. The activists do, the shippers do, the weirdos do. It's a great point. Who is this for? Who's it for? It's crazy to think, isn't it? Over on Streamlabs side, Arboru for for $25 says came in late. Cheers. Well, thank you, Arboru. Appreciate it. Great supporter of the channel. Great supporter of a lot of channels. What a legend. What a legend. All right, let's take a look at this, being that we did talk a little bit about the Acolyte. The newest press release for Disney from Disney confirms the Acolyte will release in 2024. Visiting the shadowy secrets, in the final days of the High Republic era. I think we keep hearing the same shit over and over and over and over and over again about the Acolyte. A former Padawan reunited with her Jedi Master to investigate a series of crimes, but the forces they confront are more sinister than they ever anticipated. Woo! They're going to fuck this up. They're going to fuck up the whole thing of, for 1,000 generations. And this is what the weirdos are going to do. That is what the weirdos are going to do. I might move that all the way over to there because I don't know if I'm going to even bother with it. We'll see. And then there was this from Star Wars, The Direct. Ezra Bridger actor Iman, whatever his last name is, says that he didn't watch all of Star Wars Rebels before bringing the character to life in Ahsoka. I didn't want to get too caught up in the young version of Ezra. Why? You're playing the character. an older version of the younger character. Wouldn't you want to watch it just to see what he'd actually been through, to make sure that what you're getting, what you're doing, like, it's so obvious now that you didn't watch it. Because again, as the actor, I would have been standing there going, hang on a second. I wouldn't just say to Sabine, like, oh, how did you get here? And her go, oh, it's a long story. I don't want to talk about it. And then just let it go. You know. Exactly. It's your fucking job. It's your fucking job to play the character. So why wouldn't you want to get the entirety of that character's backstory so that you can make sure that when you move forward with the character, you're actually doing the character justice? I don't get it. I don't get why you wouldn't do it. So, again, you've got people like the guy that, I can't remember his name now, the guy that created Andor that wasn't a fan, didn't really care about it or anything like that, and he makes a show for it. You got Star Wars, you got Dave Filoni, who even said to the fans, you don't even need to watch any of the other stuff, you know, to understand what's going on in Ahsoka. And you know what's really funny is when you watch like EFAP and the Mauler and those guys over there, the ones that didn't watch any of it, there's stuff in there that made sense to me that didn't make sense to them. But a lot of that still didn't make sense to me because a lot of the characters weren't anything like their animated counterparts. I've said that a million times. Crazy, isn't it? Like if I was creating a TV show that rolled on from one of the animated shows or anything like that, the first thing that I'd be telling the actors to do is to go back and binge watch the whole thing. Go and watch it twice. So anything that you think that you may have missed, you can actually get. You know. It would be one of the prerequisites to playing the role. You must watch this stuff. It's important to the character. Now, he does say that he didn't watch all of the Star Wars Rebels stuff, so he obviously watched some of it. But even being that you watch some of it, why wouldn't you watch all of it? So when we get Stargate from Raging Rhino, soon, hopefully. I really got to pull my finger out. It's just, honestly, let me say this. I will start doing that. I'd probably start doing it in the new year. I am too busy at this time of year with family, birthdays, Christmas, work, that I can't find a lot of time at the moment. So I might start doing that in the new year. I will start doing that in the new year. Plasma for 5. I get far better sci-fi galactic scale story arcs from a Stellarius. I'm probably butchering that. I'm sorry. Playthrough than from Disney Star Wars. Space sci-fi genre is ripe for the taking. Yeah, but this is the thing though, right? Like those space sci-fis like Star Trek and Star Wars and stuff, they were the top, they were the pinnacles, they were the pillars, right? And there was stuff that came out, you know, like The Last Starfighter and stuff like that. I like The Last Starfighter. I think it was really, really good. But things like that were sort of sitting underneath those. For years, it's been around. For years and years and years, you've been able to tell these good stories as long as they're good and as long as you can keep that immersion. And that's where the laws really come into play, like with hyperspace and stuff like that. All the things that I always, criticize Disney for, the tracking fobs and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Those things need to have good answers to either how they work or what they do so that you can maintain your escapism and you can maintain your suspension of disbelief. To think that what you're watching is real in how do I say it? It's real, obviously not being real, but it's real in what you're watching. If that makes sense. Thank you, Plasman. I appreciate it. It was so easy. This is the thing. It was so easy for Disney to take over this franchise and do it really, really well. It was so easy. It was so easy for the people of Star Trek to take over it and do it really, really well. It's a slam dunk on any level as long as you stay honorable to the source material and what came before. And that's why it's so baffling that we are where we are right now with a lot of these franchises. Marvel, it was so easy to continue moving forward after Endgame with good stories, with good characters. It was there. It was a slam dunk. It was so simple. I don't know whether or not that's a good take or a bad take, to be honest with you. Enterprise is greater than Kurtzman Trek. I know Kurtzman Trek is the one that's been criticized and it's really shit and it's gone really woke and stuff like that. So I'll take your word for it. Should have ended with Endgame. Yes, maybe it should have ended with Endgame, but if they even though they wanted to keep moving forward with the MCU and all of that sort of thing, it was easy for them to do it. They didn't have to go in the direction that they've gone in. This is all by choice, right? Because it's all about the message. It's all about the identity politics. It's all about the race swaps. It's all about the gender swaps. It's all about the pronouns for their new audiences. Let's see. Let me just touch on this. Let me get this out of the way. Natalie Portman says, I'm open to it when asked about playing Padme again in the Star Wars universe. Now, obviously, this is just an interview from Variety. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if they did bring her back and her story is over. It's a bit like Anakin or Vader. The story is done. Stop bringing her back. This is where the narrative of Star Wars is dead continues to be relevant and continues to move forward, because stop bringing back these characters. For what? For what? The nostalgia bait, the keys. Do I think that they're going to bring Padme back? They'll probably bring her back as a fucking Force ghost. Or you know what they'll do? They'll bring her back as a hologram, like they did in the Ahsoka series with Anakin in that scene where he's, recorded some lessons, 20 tapes, right, that you can watch and actually get lessons from her on politics. She did all these recordings before she died. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. I just saw this. Obviously, there's nothing to say that they're going to do this or anything like that. But I just think it's funny that they do these interviews with these actors and they go, oh, have you got any interest in going back to Star Wars? And the actor comes out and says, yeah, I'd be open to it. There's only been one that literally said, no, the story's done. And that was Liam Neeson. But yet Liam Neeson still went back for the Obi-Wan Kenobi show and destroyed more canon by bringing him back as a physical Force ghost that could be seen. Should come back as a clone. Oh, man. Could you imagine if they do that? Could you imagine if they did that? So, look, when it comes to stuff like this and when I see stuff like this, I'm just like, I almost have to sit there and internally laugh and basically go, fucking go for it. Do it. See how much you can now destroy that character. Because that's all they'll be doing is damage to the character. Because they don't know how to write the characters in. And they've got to keep going back to the characters that people love to even get any form of clout when it comes to Star Wars right now. So do it. Go for it. Fucking go for it. Fuck. This always happens. I need to run to the bathroom. So I'm going to play you something while I quickly run to the toilet. Please don't go anywhere. We've got 62 people watching. Please smash the like button. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right. What am I going to play? We'll just play that. All right. I'll be right back.
You'd better put a chick in it. And make it fucking gay as fuck.
Going somewhere?
Put her on a path of her own choosing, so that no matter which direction she takes, we'll always be one step ahead of her.
What?
That is so lame.
I'm here. Quick as lightning. Quick as lightning. I'm going to take those off for the time being. No, it's gross. If I can invest in one of those seats that's got like a toilet underneath it and you can just sit in it with your pants down. Fucking gross. Fucking gross. Let me check over here real quick. We're all good. We are good. Okay. Faster than a bullet from a gun. Oh, that's a good question. Mike Hill for 5 says, what would you tell Godzilla -1 director wanting to do a Star Wars movie. Don't do it. Now, I haven't seen Godzilla -1. Everyone that I know that's seen it has thought that it was really, really good. Like, really good. But you got to remember, you're going into a place where they're going to make you do what they want you to do, not what you like. You know, I saw it, and the director was saying how much he wants to do a Star Wars movie, and he would do it. You know, obviously a fan, and he would do it the way that the originals were done, sort of thing. It's so hard for me because it's the problem is Disney. The problem is the people working at Lucasfilm right now. So you could bring in anyone, absolutely anyone. They could hire me to go in there and do it. And I'd be one of those ones that walks away because they're not going to honor the source material. They're not going to honor what I perceive and believe to be the Force or the Jedi or whatever it is. This is why when I say, how do you fix it or whatever, you need a complete clean out of Lucasfilm. Complete clean out. There's no coming back from where we are now. Unless they do the impossible, which they're not going to do, which is to decanonize, not even retcon, just decanonize everything they've done. And that's what I would do to fix Star Wars. If I was given the reins, I've said this a million times, if I was given the reins to Star Wars, I'd be going in there, I'd be cleaning out all the activists, which is majority of them. Actually, even if they weren't, you're out, get out. We're starting fresh. We're building from the ground up. We're going back to the foundations. And the foundations of the 6 movies, that's it. No Clone Wars, no nothing. Employ a whole new group of people to come in. I would have specific writers to write the stories. Those would then get vetted after the stories were written, gone through, changed, whatever. Then those scripts would be given to the directors, and you do it exactly like it says. Who would be the people that I'd get in to write those stories? No, the thing is the stories are written for you. You don't even need to get people to come in and write them. You need people to come in and be able to adapt those books to a screenplay. That's really what it comes down to. Because the unfortunate thing is that you can't do a book. You can't just take the pages directly off a book out of the chapters and do it exactly how it's done. Because sometimes you might get to a scene and you're now at another part of the galaxy with another character doing something else at the same time that this event is happening, and then it cuts back to, in the book, back to the ending of what actually happened in that battle or whatever, right? So you do have to sort of alter it. You've got to adapt it properly. So who would I get? If I was at the top of Lucasfilm, I'm the president of Lucasfilm. I mean, just going off, the people that I know that get Star Wars and understand Star Wars and that I feel that would actually be able to do it justice would be people like Alora, OG Star Wars. It'd be... well, yeah, there's some good choices there. You know, Wilkins would be great. Tim would be another good one to have. Ryan would be another good one. You know, did I watch Godzilla yet? No. I don't have any way of watching it. I don't even think it's still in theaters here, or is it? I don't know. But no, I haven't. And how you doing, Flash? We're not going to talk about Godzilla, though, this week. We're going to talk about fucking Invincible, aren't we? No doubt we'll probably talk about Godzilla because Anna just watched it. I know. I need to watch it. I will get around to it. Can you get me a free ticket? Because, again, I don't know if... Let me see. Godzilla -1. Fuck, I've got to go to the city to watch it. Let me see if it's playing in Craigieburn. Just dox myself. It's not. Missing out on the greatest movie of our time. I know. I need to see it. Everybody that's talked about it said that it's really good. There are a couple of theaters that it's in here. In Melbourne. Fuck, there's not a lot of showings, though. Like, the closest theater to me is about... that's playing it. It's about a half an hour, 40-minute drive. And there's only 2 showings. 3:40 this afternoon and 8:50 this evening. Fuck. So damn good. Definitely worth it. I'm going to see it again this weekend. I do want to see it. I do want to see it, though. Like I said, a lot of people that have watched it have said that it's a good movie. I will say, like, I've never been like a massive kaiju like fan. Like, I know there's a lot of Godzilla movies out there. I know there's a lot of Kong movies out there and stuff like that. I've watched a lot of them. Thought some were good. I thought some were bad. But it's not like, you know, it's not like how I feel about Star Wars or anything like that. So I'll get around to it. Yeah. Fuck yeah. It's worth it. Need that theater experience. Thing is I will say I get a good experience here at home. I got a 75-inch TV. It's fucking huge. I got the surround sound system, which is a decent surround sound system. It's nothing special, but it's good. And in the small space that I've got, having that 75, it's fucking massive, man. But I know what you mean. There is nothing really like that theater experience, is there? Gotta tell you, a movie I'm not looking forward to is that fucking Mad Max prequel thing. Plasman for 5 says, from a financial perspective, Fed interest rates need to stay up. So it's not easy for corps to finance these trash projects with max bankruptcy risk. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, though, too, is like, you know, you look at the budget that Godzilla -1 was made on. This was my biggest thing in regards to even talking about it on Flashcast, was like the money that they spent making it, and it looks better than, and that was actually the example that I made. It was better than the graphics or the CGI that they did in the Mad Max trailer. Like, a lot of the CGI, a lot of the special effects that we're getting these days, especially when it comes to CGI, are actually horrible. And they're spending what, $200, $300, $400 million to make these shitty movies that aren't escapist in any way. They're not loyal in any way. It is purely just a fucking, it's a $300 million fucking activist movie. Wow. And then you get something like this that's what, $15, $20 million budget, and everyone that's talking about it thinks that it's really good. Go see the movie. All right. Fuck. Fury Road was woke trash. New film will be even worse. Yeah. I'm with you. Fury Road wasn't a fucking Mad Max movie. It was a fucking desert race fucking chrome in. Oh, it's so dumb. It's so good. All right, Flash. All right. All right, man. I got ya. I heard ya. Go and see it. I'll go and see it. But before I go and see it, I want to talk about this. So something I put in the title today was Star Wars shippers. This is the new audience that Disney Lucasfilm want. Oh, I wonder if there is an IMAX theater here that's actually playing it. It's probably the one in the city, actually. We'll see. But that's cool. He liked it that much. He's going to see it again in IMAX. Tells you something. Oh, God, the Raylos. Yep. So, this Twitter page basically did an award system for the Best Star Wars Ship Award. Now, when you hear the Best Star Wars Ship, any normal person would be thinking, oh, so they've ranked like ships, starships, TIE fighters, X-Wings, Slave One, fucking shuttles, Millennium Falcon, all of that sort of thing. That's where you'd be wrong. Now, I do want to point out, this person has 276 followers. This tweet only had 47 likes. But this is this is who Star Wars is now made for. Because when you start scrolling through, because this is all from the same thing, so they've done a massive thread here, right? Tied with 0.2%, one vote. So they really break it down, right? Sheev Palpatine and Commander Fox. Rose Tico and DJ. Scroll through and take a look at some of the other ships that they decided to come up with. This is one that I don't understand. Han Solo, Leia Organa, Shara Bay, and I don't even know who these characters are. Are these characters from like the High Republic or something? Plo Koon and Qui-Gon Jinn. That's with 0.3% with 2 votes. Dooku and Yaddle. Fox and Fives. These people are fucking weird. Callista Ming and Luke Skywalker. Crosshair and Wrecker. It's like I said, this is what the new fucking Star Wars fans like to talk about. Now, mind you, again, you look at the likes and the interaction that these people had on this tweet, 6 likes on this post, 7 on this. It's not, this is what I'm saying though, is it's a very small minority. Oh, Crosshair and Mayday, that was from that episode that I actually liked from the Bad Batch. So what is his name? Mayday. Wolf and Plo Koon. Like, these people are weird, man. This is what's important. Let's do a ranking of the Star Wars ships. Not the Star Wars spaceships, but the Star Wars ships on who we want fucking each other. Hey. Listen. Stop that. Fucking idiots. Let's see. Padme and Qui-Gon Jinn. Padme and Asajj Ventress. Dooku and Yoda. So we went from Dooku and Yaddle to Dooku and Yoda. Thrawn and Leia. Leia and Tarkin. Quinlan Voss and Fox. These are fucking... Oh, man. It honestly makes me sick. Kit Fisto and Plo Koon. What is that? Is that legitimately from something fucking Disney Star Wars? Looks like it's from a comic book. Qui-Gon Jinn and Dooku. So Dooku was grooming Qui-Gon, was he? These people are weird, man. Cal Kestis and that Brody fucking character. Leia and Poe Dameron. I'm going to see who gets number 1. Like, we get more and more into it. You got Boba Fett and Han Solo. Those two. Fucking, what's his name? I don't know. Ty Colma? Anakin Skywalker and Tarkin. Echo and Fives. Mace Windu and Jar Jar Binks. Crosshair and Hunter. Rey Skywalker and Han Solo. Ahsoka and Padme. Cal Kestis and what's his name? Kanan Jarrus. Leia and Lando. Rey Skywalker and Luke Skywalker. Isn't that incest now? Kylo and fucking Poe Dameron. And Hux. The three of them. In a ship together. Anakin and Rex. They did
the wind and take chances. Where is he?
Is this not just the weirdest thing you've ever seen when it comes to Star Wars? Plasmin. Oh, yes. Factorial shipping. Factorial? Did I say that right? Pretty sure I did. Thanks. Fucking, man, this is cringe as fuck. Cody and Rex. Yeah, fucking psychos, aren't they? Weird people. Is that it? Was that number one? Krennic and Jyn Erso's father. Is that really it? No, there's more. Obi-Wan Kenobi and the Organas, both of them. Jango Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Sabine and Ahsoka. Man, it goes on and on and on. Luke and Wedge. Yeah, they look like they want to stick each other's dicks in each other's asses, don't they? Obi-Wan and Luke. Oh, all of them. Just all four of them. Having an orgy. All three of them having an orgy. This is sick. This is sick. This is what Star Wars is. This is who Star Wars is for now. These people. And then you click through on a couple of other things, a couple of Twitter pages out there that just love this stuff. Your song is not yet written. I will serve you until it is. Gorgeous. Dinpo image from found on Instagram. This is one that's been coming up a lot recently, is Shin and Sabine. Like, this picture came out and, this person got sent it, doesn't know if it's fake or real. But then, you get people like this. Oh, I'm sleeping tonight and all I'm going to dream about is these two. That's a fake account if I've ever fucking seen one. But this isn't fake. It's fine. We're fine. This was taken at some Comic-Con thing that they went to. Let's get the rainbow flags out and fucking these two are probably fucking. Oh, man. They're literally role-playing the ship. And then, obviously, on the Star Wars account, they're coming out with a lot of shit like this. Now, I wrote that this is spot on for Disney Star Wars. This reminds me of the ridiculous massive pauses in the dialogue of Ahsoka. But they've been doing a lot of feeding the shippers with this narrative of these two characters. They've been doing a real lot. It actually wouldn't surprise me if these two were actually fucking in real life. So that they could play on that narrative. Oh, so cool.
Oh my god.
That's on the Star Wars fucking account. All it says is going somewhere. They seem nice, Rhino. Do they? Again, we go to... See how many fucking things they've got these two doing together. There was that one that we just watched. That's the one that we just watched. That's the same one as before. That was just stupid. Now it's not fucking going to come up. There was heaps, man. That's all of the crew. I mean, that looks gay. Man, there's so much High Republic stuff. They're just pushing the High Republic so much. Look, it's all High Republic. High Republic, High Republic, High Republic. That's all High Republic. No one gives a fuck about. That's about her photo. Yeah, okay. Again, the activist t-shirt. I want to know what it actually says. It's all High Republic. That's just gay shit. High Republic, High Republic. Bit of Ahsoka in there. Minecraft. Man, I don't know where all these fucking other things went. They've been posting a heap of shit, though.
Saber anyway.
Kanan Jarrus.
Is that so?
Yeah. He was my master.
Okay.
A little bit of to Star Wars of what we like, and we hope it fits into that galaxy. George, he created this galaxy. He created these dynamics, Jedi, Sith, all these things I play with, and I've been fortunate that he taught me a lot of things. I am always doing my best to follow what he taught, and my nature comes into it. So you get space whales and wolves. You know,
Lies.
that's all part of it.
Yeah, it's all part of your shit.
As a real person, and he's so smart and he's so gifted. He's grown into himself a lot more. He's become
No. Garbage. Where are all those fucking things that I saw of these two fucking cuddling and hugging and licking each other's pussies and scissoring and shit? There were fucking heaps of them. Oh my god, that's so gay. Anyway, can't find it. This was stupid. And so is all the shipping that goes on. And like I said, the whole reason why I wanted to share that with you is because it just seems to me that Lucasfilm, that Disney is catering to those shippers. Making sure that the shippers get what they want. You know, whether it be in reality or whether it be like fucking, I just don't know. I just don't know. This is where Star Wars is now. This is another section of the fan base that I was talking about. You know how I said that it was all split up into all these different sections? You got this tiny little section, but this is the little section that Lucasfilm now caters to. That's it. And it makes me sick. Makes me sick to think that that's what's happened to my favorite fucking franchise, my favorite fucking IP. You know. All right. Before we go into Seal of the Week, I'm just going to share this really quickly. Again, Actually, before I do that, give me a sec, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen here real quick. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on Tim's stream, The Spacing, for a one-on-one chat, which should be a lot of fun. I'll be there approximately an hour after I finish work at 5 o'clock. So my time, it starts at 4:35. I will be leaving work at 5. I should be home by about 5:30, and I'll be jumping straight in, and we'll have a chat. So I'm going to put the link to that in the chat. If you're not subscribed to Tim, Open Airlock Policy, go over and give him a sub, and I'll see you there tomorrow. The other one that I wanted to show you was because we watched his video last week, the starting of the Sparrow Files. He's put out the second video to that, which I will be watching after I finish this stream. So there's the link to the Knights of Melbourne, excuse me, YouTube channel. Go over and give him a sub. And if you want, you can continue watching the Sparrow Files over there, which should be a lot of fun because his first video was fantastic. And I fully expect the second video to be just as good. All right, let me get rid of those tabs. Okay. Now, we're going to do Seal of the Week, get the poll in the chat, and then we're going to watch something. But before we do, I need to pick. Let's take one out here. God damn. I don't know which one to take out. All right, you know what we're going to do? This is how we're going to do it. We're going to start it. There's 5. I need 4. So we need to remove one. I'm going to go through all 5 of them. You're then going to select in the chat which number you want removed from the selection. And then we'll put the poll in the chat with the 4, and we'll go through which ones are the numbers. If you didn't understand that, it'll make more sense once we get going. Here we go. Here we go.
I'm all the Jedi.
All right, so like I said, we're going to go through. There's 5 nominees. We're going to remove one before we put the poll in the chat, and you guys are going to help me select it. I love seeing the emojis in the chat, seal clapping all the way through. All right, here we go. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you guys are going to select who gets removed based on the numbers. And then we're going to poll it. So the first nominee this week is Star Wars Facts, saying Rey repairs Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker by using the Force to heal the weapon's kyber crystal. This was a skill that she learned from the ancient Jedi texts. apparently this one over here, right next to the page, conveniently enough, of the, what was it? The fucking map thing. So she learned how to heal a kyber crystal. Fantastic. The second nominee is from Brody. This was a new one that sort of came up last week. But this, anyway, let's just read it. Do I love the mods? Definitely not. But they don't impact the show as much as people make it out. I think they do impact the show pretty fucking badly. First of all, you've got the invention of the mods and the mod shop as like a tattoo parlor and all of that sort of shit. And then you've got that slow-ass race and everything. It's pretty fucking bad, and it's pretty fucking obvious how bad it is and how bad it makes the show. I mean, it's not the only thing that makes the show bad, by the way. Their only point is to show Tatooine tech advancing really a bit in the underground. Okay. They had one main scene, Thundercats mode was sick as fuck too. Thundercats mode was sick as fuck. What Thundercats mode? Is that them like chasing the actual chase? No one else talks about them. Yeah, because they're shit. Because they're fucking shit. Anyway, I thought that was a pretty fucking, didn't love them, but they weren't that bad. They weren't as bad as people say that they are. And they love the Thundercats mode. Okay, cool. You weirdo. Fucking weirdo. Then we've got our good friend Jacob. Our good friend Jacob. The he, him, himself. This is one of those pronoun retards that if you said, what's your favorite ship, he would probably say Raylo, most likely. Kylo Ren and Rey using the Force to hold back and block lightsaber blades is still one of my favorite concepts to come out of the sequel trilogy. That hurts my brain. Absolutely blew my mind and had my jaw on the floor when I first saw this on opening night for The Rise of Skywalker. Of course. Your jaw was on the floor, and I wonder how many dicks were in your mouth. So that's nominee number 3. Nominee number 4 is Anakin, destined to end the Sith. Luke, destined to restore the Jedi. Rey, destined to finish what they both started. Okay. If you say so. If you say so. I think this is the one that's probably going to drop out because our last one is from Dan, another good friend of Seal of the Week. Says, I believe New Jedi Order is the best Star Wars story. This one. Right? And I believe The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars film. That's a contradiction in itself. Because they both can't exist. So, they are the 5 that we have. We need to remove one, guys. So, whoever gets the most votes, like just putting a number in the chat. So, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. So, put the number in that you want to see removed from the nominees of this week. Just one number. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Oh, we've got a few for number 1, a few for number 4. Oh, there's a couple of number 5s in there. Oh, it looks like to me number 4 is leading. You reckon number 5 did nothing wrong? Do you think The Last Jedi is the best Star Wars film, Lethal? While still saying that the best Star Wars story is The New Jedi Order. Oh, number 5's probably taken the lead. Oh, number 5's still probably leading. Because they both can't be, like, these two stories don't fit together at all. Okay, I understand. Yeah, okay, if you separate them, that's his favorite Star Wars book and that's his favorite Star Wars movie. But the fact that his favorite Star Wars movie is, he believes that it's the best film, is the worst film in my eyes. I don't know. Four and 5 are even now. Well, I think with that, 4 then takes the lead, doesn't it? We've got 1 there. Oh, 5. Jesus. Five. Jesus. All right. Looks like 5 it is, guys. Dan, you're out of here. Yep, 5. Yep, all right, 5 is gone. Boom. All right, we've already read through them. So now I'm just going to put the poll in the chat because the numbers stay the same. This is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. And this is number 4. So let me get that in the chat. Seal of the week. Get your votes in, people. Get your votes in. Which is most seal worthy? That is the question. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I know which one I'd pick. If I had a vote, it would go to number 3, Jacob. He has some really fucking bad takes. Some really fucking bad takes. All right. Now that that's done, so Master of the TDS recently made a video, and it's apparently 4 minutes long, and then tagged me in it. So I thought we could watch it. Since it's just a short video. If you're not subscribed to Master of the TDS, go and give them a sub. They're good people. I don't know why you'd tag Doomcock in there, but sure. Tag Star Wars Theory in there as well. So I thought we could watch it. Let's see. Let's go into the YouTube one so it actually counts as a view.
You see this in media.
Whoa. Let's see. I was about to smash the like just straight off the bat because that's sometimes what I do. Let's see if I like it first. Then we'll see. All right. Here we go. You guys got audio, yeah? You did hear that.
We see this in media all the time now. Got an established character or franchise people like? Well, get ready for it to be changed, warped, and subverted by Hollywood to fit a narrative. Imagine for a minute you have a favorite item of clothing. It's worn down and faded from all the times you have worn it, and it's starting to unravel in certain places. but you love and cherish it, and perhaps it even has some sentimental value to it. Now imagine that in comes a new clothing designer. They have seen how much you like the article of clothing, and they decide to remake it so that you and everyone else might enjoy it again. At first, you're excited to see what they're going to do with it, and excited to wear that kind of clothing again. Unfortunately, the new clothing designer has their own agenda and plans to make some significant changes to the clothing to make it appeal to modern-day consumers.
Okay, I understand the analogy. I get I get it. TDS, I know exactly what you're saying there. I think the item of clothing thing, it's hard to have that as an analogy for what they're doing with Star Wars. I understand the premise of what you're saying. I think the restaurant, the food restaurant analogy that a lot of people have used out there is a much better one. It's kind of like when you go to let's say a steak restaurant, like, you know, they make steaks and you've been there before and you love the steak. They always make it perfectly the way you do, depending on how much you like to cook, whether or not it's medium rare. Every time you ask for a medium rare steak, it comes out. It's fucking fantastic. It's brilliant. It's lovely. It's delicious. Mashed potatoes are really good. All of that stuff. And then it changes ownership and you go back to the restaurant and they're still promoting it as a steak restaurant, but you ask for a steak and then they bring out chicken, right? And instead of mashed potatoes, they bring out sweet potatoes that aren't even mashed. It's just like a baked sweet potato. And it's that, don't get me wrong, I understand the premise of the analogy that you're using. I just think like clothing, it's hard to make an analogy out of clothing because once something does wear, yes, and I've had clothes that I've worn over and over and over again until it's gone to the point where it's like, I really can't wear this anymore. I think it's a harder way to use an analogy like that to make your point. But I get it. Don't get me wrong. It's fine.
In the end, the new clothing has been changed so much you can barely recognize it anymore. It is vastly different from the clothing product you were hoping for, and it basically just shares the same brand name as the original.
That's fair.
But nothing else. You're willing to try it anyways, but upon buying it, you find out that it's made of inferior quality and materials.
Yep.
When you complain to the clothing designer, they laugh at you and deny your claims rather than listen to the feedback. You try to move on because at least you have the original clothing item, and while you're upset, you soldier on. However, now, when you wear the original clothing item, you get laughed at and mocked by the people wearing the brand new one.
That's a fair point.
Not only that, but the clothing designer has bought up all of the original clothing items and declared them obsolete. Slowly but surely, you stop wearing that article of clothing you cherish. It begins to be less and less appealing, and eventually
less important
you become
to you.
apathetic to it.
Yeah.
Your once loved item is now worthless, and the inferior redesign of it continues to flood the market until eventually it too becomes tiresome and fades into obscurity.
Fair.
If this story sounds familiar to you, it's because we see the same trope played out in media all the time now. They announce a remake or a continuation of something you love, but pervert it and change it to fit a narrative which destroys the value of the original brand as a byproduct. Criticism is ignored, and you're mocked and shamed for holding on to the past and not being able to accept the new modern design.
That's the narrative that I hate actually more than anything, is the fact that you're mocked and shamed. Like, you're not a real Star Wars fan. Like, I could say the same thing about those people that are saying that to me. If you can't see what the problems are with what they've done with Star Wars, then you're not a real Star Wars fan. I don't normally take that avenue because I prefer to give my stance on why I think it's not and give my evidence of why I think it's not Star Wars, that is. But, you know, if you're going to come after me with stupid shit fucking things and you're just like, you're just a fucking idiot, you're just a grifter, blah, 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 blah. Like, no, I've loved this fucking thing for a long fucking time. I know a lot about this franchise. I know a lot about the lore. I know a lot about the canon and the continuity of those things. And that's why I love it so much. It's that narrative that I fucking don't like the most.
Take original IPs we love and change them to the point where we can no longer recognize them, and yet they claim it's still the same product. You can't take something that's beloved for certain reasons and turn those reasons on their head and expect people to be okay with it. You can take that old item of clothing, sew it, tailor it, and build off the foundation of what people loved, and then everyone can be happy.
This is the problem, though, TDS, is that they think that they're doing that by bringing, like, Anakin Skywalker back in. They're tailoring it for the people that they think love this stuff, right? But they're ignoring the fact that either the story's already been told and there's no real point in bringing them in other than the Jungle and Keys, and that's why there's that fucking saying that you're just nostalgia baiting people. But that's all it is. And that's why they can't remove themselves now from the era that they said that they weren't going to do anything in. Because the only way that they can get people to come back and actually see any of it or watch any of it is through the nostalgia bait.
That is what I like to call a hand-me-down hero. When you build off the foundation of what people loved and remake it for a new generation, allowing the people who originally enjoyed it to pass it on to their children, and so on.
Correct.
We don't need flashy new products with old names we remember. We want what we originally loved, or something entirely new and unique. Unfortunately, it seems Hollywood has lost touch with this idea. And this is why we get more hollow and soulless products based on what we once loved. Hollywood doesn't understand the value of hand-me-down heroes, and they have lost the ability to make things we can cherish, learn from, and pass down to our children.
That's the other thing too, is there's some actual deep lessons and things that you can take from Star Wars and put into your real life. You know, themes that are there that you can actually, like, you know, build your own integrity off of.
Until Hollywood can again recognize the value of hand-me-down heroes, we will never be able to escape the curse of reboots, reimaginings, and remakes.
Yep.
So for now, farewell to the hand-me-down heroes. May we meet again someday.
Fantastic. Good video. Good video. If you're not subscribed to Master of the TDS, there is the link. Well, obviously the link to the video, but also to his channel. I believe him and his wife make that. Oh, hang on. I don't know if that's actually their channel. Did they? I thought it was just Master of the TDS. Anyway, there's the link to that. It was a good video. It was a good video. But I still think, like, the best analogy to use is the food analogy. I really think that that's a great, like, I understood the clothing analogy that he gave there. Plasman for 5 says, imagine the company that makes your favorite potato chips comes up with some horrible flavors to replace the originals, to replace the original, like dog crap and vomit. Yeah. It's yeah. So instead of getting like chicken flavored chips and your favorite sort of potato chip kettles or whatever. Oh, that's his wife's channel name. Okay. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, because I am subscribed to it. I'm going to give that a like. Thank you, Master of the TDS. That was great. I'm just going to write back to him. Watched it on stream. Great video. Very good. All right. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, so sorry, just back to the super chat. Thanks, Plasman. Yeah, I still think the best analogy that you can use is either the restaurant analogy or like a potato chip analogy like that. It's like getting your favorite flavored potato chip from your favorite people that make potato chips and then saying like it's you know, that they're changing the flavors. Fucking shapes. It's I think we've talked about shapes on the on Full Aussie and stuff like that. They actually changed their pizza shapes, the pizza flavored pizza shapes, and they made them worse. And then they brought back the original pizza shapes because they copped a bit of backlash. People said like they're not as good anymore. The flavor's not as good. It tastes different, all of this kind of stuff. And then they went back to the original flavoring. Why? Probably because they lost sales. Probably because their numbers started to diminish. People weren't enjoying them as much. It's too bad these studios can't, you know, actually take the criticism. They've got to bite back at the criticism by saying that you're racist or you're sexist or you're misogynistic or whatever, right? And it's crazy. Like, you know, think about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. When that came out, they started the attacks on the fans before it even aired. They told fucking the chick that played Reva, I can't remember her name now, Moses Ingram, right? They told her, oh, just beware, there's a lot of racist fans out there that probably aren't going to like your character. No, we're not going to dislike her character because she's black and because we're racist. We're going to dislike her character because you poorly wrote the character. It's a shit character that doesn't fit in this era and doesn't fit in this story. Hello, Stephanie. The little green heart. Thank you. How you doing? Good to see you. Hopefully in 2024, I'll be seeing Steph in real life. It'd be awesome. When I say hopefully, I'm going to say it's definitely 2024. Somewhere in 2024. I was going to go over early in 2024. Get over there for Anna's wedding, but unfortunately it's too soon and I don't have the money to be able to do it that quickly. So that's right. Rhino in real life. Steph in real life. We're going to make some videos. We're going to have fun. That was a great video. Master of the TDS. Good stuff. Nice, short, sweet, to the point. How many views has that got? 1,500 views. It came out 2 weeks ago. Got 98 likes. Good video. Great stuff. That's right. We don't like her character because it's a bad character. Exactly. So very simple. Her character was trash and annoying. Exactly. Got nothing to do with the color of her skin. And I will say, even the acting was shit. She's actually a shit actor. And that has nothing to do with the fucking color of her skin. You know, I remember while we were going through that series, watching Disparoos, and the amount of times that he's sitting there going, yelling or screaming is acting, because that's all she did. It's horrible. Fucking horrible. So hang on, I missed a couple of super chats from earlier. Sorry about this. Mike Hill for 2. Wouldn't it be incest if clones were together? That's true too. I don't know. Is it incest or is it just them fucking themselves? Because they're the same person, right? Exactly the same genetics. God, I couldn't imagine. This is from the shippers conversation. Oh, God. Plasmin. Tatooine sand grain with Anakin Skywalker. Is that a ship? Is it? Are we shipping the Tatooine sand and Anakin Skywalker together? That's funny. That's funny. Thanks, guys. Yes, Eric. What? You want food early again, as per usual. Always gets to this time. Look at him just looking at me. See if we can get his attention by just looking. What? He's funny. He's funny. Food now, yeah. It's too early. It's 2 hours too early. Yes, Kitty demands food. All right. Let's go back to Eric is my spirit animal. I love them both. Both Eric and Charles. I was actually thinking about it the other day because they don't get out much. They don't go outside much. I usually just take them out on the back balcony there and they sort of just roam around and lay down on the ground in the sun or whatever. And I was actually thinking about, I'm like, I wonder how they go if I just let them outside with like other cats and stuff. If like Eric was being beaten up by a cat, if Charles had come to his rescue. And I was actually thinking about it, like, despite how much they fight with each other, it's more play fighting, obviously, with each other. They'd probably defend each other while they were actually out there. But anyway. All right, let's wrap up Seal of the Week and then get the fuck out of here, shall we? Let me just check my Streamlabs. I think we're all good. Arboru, again, thank you for that donation and the that super chat. All right. You got the whiniest fucking meow, Eric. Do you hear that? He's fucking funny. All right, fucking hell. Eric, shut up. All right, here we go. Let's bring this up. Yeah, we're bringing it up. So there are your 4 nominees. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's give you the countdown. We give you the Mozza countdown. All right, let's end the poll. Poll is ended. All right. So, in last place, with 9% of the vote, we had 32 votes this week. Thank you, guys. With 9% of the vote is number 2. Brody One Kenobi. Had a couple of nominees in the last couple of weeks. I don't think... Did Brody win last week? I can't remember now. Can't remember. Anyway, Brody, unfortunately, it wasn't quite Sealy enough. Number 1 was Star Wars Facts with 21% of the vote. The runner-up this week with 31% of the vote, fuck, I can't clear my throat enough, is number 4, saying that Rey is destined to finish what both of the Skywalkers started. And this week's Seal of the Week, coming back with a vengeance, is Jacob, With Kylo Ren and Rey using the Force to hold back and block lightsaber blades is still one of my favorite concepts to come out of the sequel trilogy. Absolutely blew my mind and had my jaw on the floor when I first saw this on opening night for The Rise of Skywalker. Congratulations, Jacob. You're back on the leaderboard with this week's Seal of the Week. Congratulations on the win.
I'm all the Jedi.
That's a great point, Nuisance Bird. It's dumb. Why waste Force energy when you could just use your saber for defense and put the Force energy into an offensive attack? Correct. Stupid. And they're bringing it into everything now. Even in Ahsoka, they did it. I think. Yeah, they did. Ahsoka was using it. Ugh. So dumb. Yes, Eric. You're annoying. That's it, guys. We are done for another week of Casual Rage. It's been an awesome stream. As per usual, you guys make it awesome. Thank you, everyone, for coming back and watching again, as per usual. Thanks for your ongoing support. Thanks to the members for your ongoing support. Really appreciate that. Completely unnecessary, but you come in and you support and all of that. It's fucking great. Thank you to everyone who super chatted. You guys are awesome too. Everyone that comes in, everyone that rewatches the replays, you guys are fucking awesome as well, and write your comments. Always go in and have a read. That's how I talk to my dog. Yeah, well, I talk to my cats like they're fucking dogs because they are dogs. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you, everyone, for being here. I will see you tomorrow on Open Airlock Policy stream for a one-on-one interview chat with him, which will be a lot of fun. Oh, look at that. Replaced with Charles. What do you want? Huh? You wanted to come and say hello now. So yeah, you can catch me over on Open Airlock Policy tomorrow. At about this time, he'll be starting, and then he'll go for about an hour, and then hopefully I'll be home from work and I can jump straight in and we can start our discussion. Then tomorrow night over on the Full Aussie channel, we've got the Back of the Ute this week. And then you find me on Flashcast on Sunday or Saturday night, depending on where you are in the world. That's it. Thank you, everyone. I will see you all next week for another Casual Rage. Take care. Bye.
You'd better put a chick in it. And make it fucking gay as fuck.
Going somewhere?
Put her on a path of her own choosing, so that no matter which direction she takes, we'll always be one step ahead of her.
What?
That is so lame.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt!
A few minutes? Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining.
No, what is it? Do you have to shoot this? Traveling through hyperspace is like dusting crops, kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store. Or bounce into a supermarket and then...
Yeah.
Be a hell of a mess.
What's that?
Watch. You're losing your deflector shields. Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking very close.
You go away.
Bounce too near a supermarket?